Yes, it's case number 326 on the calendar in the matter of Marie versus Kales. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Marie, the defendant is your daughter. And it is your claim that she was disabled, and while she was waiting for her disability to come through, her Social Security disability?
Yes.
You loaned her money, and once she got her retroactive money, she did not reimburse you for the monies you had loaned to her. Your daughter says that you did in fact help her while she was waiting for her disability to come through. You did so because you were her mother, because you had not been much of a mother previously to her, and there was never any arrangement between the two of you for payback of the money that you advanced her while she was sick. Okay. How many children do you have, Miss Marie?
Your Honor, I have 3.
How old are they?
In their 30s.
How old is the defendant?
34.
Did they always live with you when they were young?
I raised them until while I was working, they were 3 children from hell. I mean, what they were...
Could you just answer my question? Were they living with you, or were they not living with you during all their minority?
I was taking full responsibility for them.
You want to answer my question?
Till I was 10 years old.
And where did you go when you were 10?
She took my brothers and I to my aunt's house, and we stayed there for 2 or 3 years, and I never went back after that. Group homes, foster homes, friends.
So after the time you were 10 years old, you did not live with your mother?
No.
Are you the older of the children, or...?
I'm the youngest.
And how old are your brothers and sisters?
36 and 38.
What's the nature of your disability?
Bilateral carpal tunnel.
Did you have surgery?
Yes.
Didn't work?
No.
All right, Miss Marie, you want to tell me about the money that you allegedly loaned to your daughter?
Okay, I have been supporting her because she's not been able to keep a job. I kept giving her money, and she promised to pay me back. A car was involved. Besides loaning her money, I have given her. I've bought her.
I just want to know about the loans, Miss Marie.
It's a running tab, Your Honor. She started the tab in her handwriting and said, from now on, whatever I borrow, you keep the receipts and you put it on the tab.
Let me see.
There's 3 things on this list from 1997.
Can I see it, please?
That's what she started. Progressively, we added more things on. I left half this. This is a fraction of what I've given her over the years, Your Honor.
Who cares?
She's my mother.
Shh. Who cares? I want to know what's a loan. I want to see evidence. Listen to me. Listen to me. I want to see evidence of a loan. If you have children, that's what you do. They can't take care of themselves and they're going through a difficult time, and you support them. You take them into your home. You buy them clothes. You take them out to dinner. You pay for the phone. That's not a loan. I don't know what you have in your mind with this being a loan. I want to see evidence of a loan. This says Lisa owes mom $150, $600, $120, and a car with a question mark. I mean, I have a Ralph's food bill.
All these receipts are from grocery stores.
Just a second.
Kmart.
I have Ralph's food bill.
She told me to put these on the loan. Your Honor, I'm not wealthy. I was giving her money that I was paying for. Sometimes I would get paid maybe $200, $300. I was giving her money. $600 for furniture. I was buying her furniture. I was supporting her, and her promise to me is that when she got a settlement, we changed the agreements from whenever she could afford it. See, I was helping her get settled in California. I paid her bills. She lived with me. The fact that I never abandoned her, Your Honor, that is so untrue. Her father came into my life and says that...
I'm not interested in what happened 30 years ago. All I'm saying to you, madam,
But it's not 30 years ago. She thinks I abandoned her. That never happened.
Did she live with you when she was 12?
No.
The social services came in and took the kids away, Your Honor.
What I'm telling you, madam, is social service
because
came
I was working.
Oh, please, Miss Marie, get your life together. Take this.
Your Honor.
Show me evidence of a loan. I want to see evidence of a loan to your daughter.
Can I say something?
What? There
was no cash. She didn't hand me cash money. It was like a favor for a favor. I didn't want to say this, but my mother's homeless. She lives in a van. She hasn't had a residence. So I'm unable to support her financially, so I help her in other ways. She needs a place to stay. She's always had keys to my apartment, to shower, to get on the internet, to use the telephone,
Your Honor,
whatever she needs. So it's like a favor for a favor. She would say, I'll take you to the grocery store if you let me come over and take a shower or use the phone.
I don't, listen to me.
That's what it is.
Listen
It's
to
not
me.
the truth, Your Honor.
Listen to
Please.
me. Miss Marie, I want to see evidence that you as a mother
Okay.
had an agreement, a contract with your daughter so that any monies that you either advanced her or times you took her to the shoe store or to Ralph's grocery store, that there was an intention to pay back. Show me.
The parts that I've highlighted is her admitting that this was, she was going to pay me back.
Well, the first letter says that this is about the car that you mentioned, and she says that happened 7 years ago. We had no agreement, nothing was signed. You were helping me out because I'm your daughter. And the second letter that you show me is, you have written here, October 2003. You say you have done and still are doing a lot of wonderful things for me. Please don't think it goes unappreciated. Does that sound familiar to you?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I have every intention of paying you back. My plan is to pay you all at once out of my settlement. You've been so patient about the whole situation, and I thank you for that. I am sure it's been very difficult. If you could just hold out a little longer until my case settles, I promise you will be completely reimbursed.
My case hasn't settled. You have to say something to this woman or she will come slash your tires or take you to court.
I beg your
Or
no.
she'll get you.
No.
She will get you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I can read forever. If you give me an hour, it's not enough.
I don't have an hour.
I know,
What I'm
but
asking
I'm
you,
trying to tell
Madam,
you that this woman is lying, Your Honor.
1, 2,
Okay.
and then you're gone.
And later today,
Where did she hit you?
In the face somewhere.
And what did you do to her?
Bit her
You bit her.
on the job.
Sounds like a relationship made in heaven.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Angela Marie claims her daughter, Lisa Kales, owes for many unpaid loans. Angela says she is currently homeless.
Go ahead.
This has been the most abusive situation I've ever been in my life, and I never allowed her abuse to keep me from giving to her. I was at her beck and call. I was her doctor. I was her therapist. I did everything.
You're my mother.
I'm stunned.
Listen to me.
These are letters telling how much he has abused me over the years and has lied about this. It would be nice to think that we could walk around the park and could solve all our problems, but I see that I am the cause of all our problems, so maybe I need to go walking alone. Yeah.
I
mean,
recall.
Lisa is lying. I can read forever. If you give me an hour, it's not enough.
I don't have an hour.
I
What
know,
I'm
but
asking
I'm
you,
trying to tell
Madam,
you that this woman is lying, Your Honor. A mother is obligated to
how
their
do you support?
children to the age of 18.
I'm speaking.
I was out of the
I'm
house at 9.
speaking, and you're not getting.
I've been supporting her forever.
1, 2,
Okay.
and then you're gone. How do you support yourself? I'm asking you a question. How do you support yourself?
Up until about 2 years ago, a transcriptionist.
How do you support yourself now?
Now I have been disabled. I have been borrowing from General Relief. I had to pay that all back. I have been certified. I went to a hearing. I'm certified disabled for several things. And
Listen to me very carefully. If you've been giving your daughter money, and if you've been helping her for the last 2 years with money that you have gotten
not
from...
2 years.
Listen to me. I'm speaking. Carefully. Carefully. You just told me that up until 2 years ago you were employed as a transcriptionist. Since that time you have not been employed. You were receiving general relief, you were receiving disability. So if you supported your daughter over the last 2 years, you were supporting her, since you have to say when you get general relief that you have no income and you have no money, you were supporting her out of state money. You were supporting her out of money that comes from the general population. I don't understand why a mother, if her daughter is disabled, if her daughter is
She's
ill,
not disabled.
if her daughter...
She's not disabled.
Well, neither am I. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step
I
out.
can't believe that it came to this. I have been everything to this girl, and I've been giving her all my money, and she's laughing there.
I was kind of hoping that she would win because she's not going to let it go. I want a restraining order now.
She has been coercing me by being nice to me to get more money out of me.
We try, we don't get along, we get along, we don't get along.
There is no relationship. There hasn't been one. I asked her to please go get counseling. I realize now that I'm going to need it also.
Maybe we could, yay, you know, but I don't see us speaking again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Burnett versus Burnett, step forward.
Drug counselor Frances Burnett is suing her ex-boyfriend, maintenance man Quentin Barnett, for vandalizing her Pontiac Grand Am twice. Frances claims he was caught red-handed both times.
You're not related to each other,
No, ma'am.
but he was your boyfriend.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you broke up with him.
Yes.
According to what I'm piecing together from your complaint, he didn't take this breakup well.
No, ma'am, he did.
And he vandalized your car, according to you. He came to your job and created a scene, harassing you. You want him to compensate you for both.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Burnett says he just wanted to talk, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She didn't want to talk to you. When did he vandalize your car?
On August 26, 2004.
Tell me about it.
Earlier that evening, Mr. Burnett had called me stating he wanted to come by my house and talk to me. Mr. Burnett at that time was not welcome at my house, so I told him he could not come.
When had you broken up with him?
The second week in August of 2004.
Do you care to tell me why?
Around that time, my house was broken into, and at that time, I was suspicious of Mr. Burnett, and I asked him to leave my home and ended the relationship.
Was he living with you at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
How long had he been living with you?
About a year.
Why did you think he was somehow responsible for the burglary?
The last 6 months of our relationship was very disruptive. We were into a lot of arguments. I didn't like the type of people he was hanging around, and he was just, suspicious to me.
Tell me what happened on August 26th.
Mr. Burnett called and stated he was coming over to my house. At that point, I sat in my living room looking out the window waiting on him. When I saw him arrive, he did not get out in my driveway. He got out down the street from my house, and I saw him exit a vehicle and walk toward my house. As he walked toward my house, he started to ring the doorbell and knock on the door. At that point, I called the police, and all of a sudden, I heard a noise outside my window. I looked outside my kitchen window where my car was and saw Mr. Burnett vandalizing my car.
What did he do to the car?
He smashed the front windshield. The two rear view mirrors were smashed out, and then he took a iron brick and scarred the whole car up.
Frances Burnett claims ex-boyfriend Quentin Barnett vandalized her car twice. Quentin says it was probably one of her other boyfriends.
You have a police report?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
May I see it, please?
I also have pictures.
I'd like to see those too. Did you have a hissy fit?
No, ma'am.
Did you scratch her car?
No, ma'am.
What did you do to her car?
I didn't do anything to the car. I went over there. She didn't let me in, so I left.
She told you not to come over to begin with.
Yes, she did.
If she told you not to come over, what'd you go over there for?
Because I wanted to talk to her.
She didn't want to talk to you.
Well,
Are you trying to tell me you just left?
yeah, I did just leave.
No.
Oh, well, whatever.
Okay. When was the next act of vandalism on the car?
August the 27th.
What happened then?
Earlier that day, Mr. Burnett had been calling me on my job with harassing phone calls and threats.
What did he say?
That he was going to get me, that he was going to call my boss and cost me my job, that he was going to beat my A and everything according to that. He also came up on my job that day and attempted to assault me. As a result of his actions against me on my job, I lost my job, and I have a police report to
I'd like to see it, please. In the year that you were living together, how many times were the police called to your house because of assaults?
Several.
Who assaulted whom?
He got the assault charge.
Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Why what?
What'd you hit her for?
Because she did something to me.
What did she do to you?
She hit me first, so I hit her back.
Oh, well, if she hit you first, that's the reason. So you hit her back. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, I bit her
You bit her.
on the job.
Sounds like a relationship made in heaven. Tell me what happened on the 27th, please.
Late on that evening, I went home, and that's when my son came to report to me that he was outside slashing the tires on my other car.
Tell me your name.
Gordon.
Did you get along with Mr. Burnett?
Okay.
Do you remember August 27th?
Yes.
Remember what happened with the tires of your mom's other car?
He slashed them.
What time was this?
9:30.
In the evening?
Yes, ma'am.
When you saw him slashing the tires, did you say anything to him? Did you call out to him?
No.
What did you do?
Told her, and she called the police.
Is Gordon lying?
I guess he is, because I ain't do it.
So somebody else slashed her tires?
Yeah.
And somebody else rode all over her car?
Yep.
Well, listen to me. In the year or so that you lived in her house, how many times was her car vandalized?
None. Zero.
None. No. I'm just trying to get some information, some basic facts from you, sir. In the year that you lived with her,
Zero.
She had 2 cars, and nothing happened to the cars, right?
Yeah, right.
And in the week following her putting you out of the house, both of her cars end up vandalized. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Isn't that bizarre? How coincidental that is?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's just mind-boggling how those things just happen to come around. Isn't it mind-boggling?
Quite a coinky-dink.
Right. Can I see the estimates, please, on fixing your car? Mr. Barnett, you got to put a rein in on that temper, sir. You know what the policeman says about you here?
What did he say?
He says you are angry. Were you angry?
He couldn't have said it about me, because I wasn't over there. He must have been talking about somebody else.
Well, no. It's you. It's you. He says you're angry.
He
said your general appearance was conservative, but your demeanor was angry. Now, tell me what happened when he got to your place of employment, Miss Burnett.
He came on the job. He was very, very disturbed, wanted me to come from around the desk, and I would not.
What kind of work do you do?
Alcohol and drug counselor.
Why did you go to her place of employment, Mr. Barnett?
To talk to her.
She didn't want to talk to you. She told you that before.
Oh, okay.
You're a nice-looking young man. You have a job?
Yes.
What kind of job do you have?
A maintenance man.
So you have a job, you make a living, right?
Yes.
You find another girl, she doesn't like you anymore.
I heard you.
So you're going to leave her alone, right?
Yes.
If you don't, you're going to go to jail. Do you understand? Good. You working now?
No, ma'am.
How long did you have that job?
3 years.
On what date were you let go?
August 30th, 2004.
You caused her to lose her job, Mr. Burnett. Caused thousands of dollars worth of damage to her car. Was your temper tantrum worth it? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
I'm very happy with
3:53 on the calendar in the matter of Brakefield Jesse versus Blake. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Have a seat.
Mr. Brakefield, this is your girlfriend, is that right?
This is my wife.
This is your wife now?
Yes.
At the time of this, it was your girlfriend?
At the time of it, yeah.
Okay. According to what I read, several years ago, you had either a relationship with somebody, you had a brief marriage.
I was married to my first wife.
Okay. And that marriage produced a child.
Yes, it did.
A child that your then-wife was not interested in raising.
That's correct.
And you took custody of that child.
Yes, I did.
But you weren't either in a position or you weren't interested in being a full-time parent either. So you turned your son over to the defendant for the purpose of care. And Mrs. Blake cared for your son for how many years?
21 months.
And during that 21 months, you were in the armed forces?
Yes.
Where were you stationed?
It was in Point Loma, California, in San Diego.
And Mrs. Blake cared for your son every day? He slept there?
Not full-time, no. She was a daycare provider and a close friend.
You mean your son was only there during the day?
He was there during the day, except for Tuesdays and Thursday nights, where she offered to keep him overnight so that I could go work out at the gym and perhaps get some more personal time.
Other than that, he slept at your house?
He slept overnight at my house, yes.
Is that correct?
No, it's not correct. He was with me 24/7 for the first 4 months. He didn't even come by to visit his son. but twice, and it was only after we requested it.
So for the first 4 months, he was with you full-time?
He was with me full-time the whole 21 months.
Does that sound right?
No, it's not correct at all.
Okay. Whether the child was with you 24/7 for the first 4 months or 21 months practically full-time, you started a new relationship with the co-plaintiff, and you decided that it was no longer necessary for Mrs. Blake to take care of your son, so you picked him up one day from her home, didn't tell her that you did not plan to return him, and took him, I assume, back to your house.
Yes.
Mrs. Blake called Child Protective Services. She tried to contact you. She didn't know where you were. She didn't know where the child was. She called Child Protective Services, and she made a report of suspected child abuse and/or neglect. And you did do that.
Yes,
you acknowledged that you did that.
Yes, I did, and I was concerned deeply about Cody. He was not ever out of my sight without me knowing where he was more than 2 days.
Just a second. Well, that's what your case is involving. Your case is involving this call to Child Protective Services, which you say were unnecessary and unwarranted, causing you all kinds of grief, and you want to be compensated for that.
Yes.
And Mrs. Blake said that what you really did was amount to kidnapping this child without telling her that you were taking him, without telling her that you did not intend to return him to the home. And she had a legitimate concern about his well-being, and she called Child Protective Services. Right?
That's correct.
So, there's no question that for almost 2 years, Miss Blake was an integral part of your son's life. Is that right?
That's true.
How did he refer to her?
Mom.
I'm asking him.
He called her mommy because that's how she'd call him mommy. She'd call him mamas, so that it would what he would say when he was around her.
All I want to know from you is, I want a direct answer to my question. Direct answer to my question, Mr. Brakefield, is that he called the defendant mommy, right?
Yes.
Cody also calls him mommy. He also calls me mommy. He calls a lot of people mommy.
I didn't ask you anything yet. Nothing. How did you find Mrs. Blake?
She was a wife of one of my coworkers when I was at a different command.
You must have regarded her highly if you turned your son over to her.
I didn't have anybody else.
So what you're telling me is you would have turned him over to anybody because you needed a babysitter. Is that what you're telling me?
No. She offered to help me out. I was in a tight situation. She offered to help me out, and I accepted her help.
Mr. Brakefield, you're not going to be able to get away from my question. Either you believed that she was a quality caregiver, or you didn't know whether she was a quality caregiver or not, but you used her anyway.
I believe she was a quality caregiver.
That's a better answer. So, did anything happen during the course of the 21 months that Mrs. Blake was caring for your son that led you to believe that she was not a quality caregiver?
Yes.
Tell me what that was.
There were several occasions where I went into her house when picking my son up from her. There would be dog feces outside of her bedroom or down near her office, and she would tell her son to clean it up, and it would just stay there.
So that happened when?
On several occasions.
How much into the babysitting?
It was probably anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half into it.
Well, you weren't sufficiently concerned about that to take your son out and find a different daycare for him, right?
I felt it was something that I could resolve.
How could you resolve that?
By talking to her and saying, no, I've brought this up to you on past occasions.
So what I'm asking you is, it never reached the point where you felt as if your child was in danger.
Not in physical danger, no.
Well, in physical danger from being in a place that was unclean.
Well, he was allowed to walk around with cleaning products like the dishwasher pillow packets. I brought that up, and I was told, oh, he can't break those open. They're tough to open. You can barely, it's hard to open them, so he's perfectly safe.
When during the course of her babysitting for your son did that happen? How old was he?
It actually happened on multiple occasions. I just kept bringing it up, and they said, oh, he's fine, he's fine. And then one day I get a phone call from her saying, well, I'm not going to let him walk around with the cleaners anymore. He just sprayed 409 into Trevor's eyes.
When did you take your son out of Miss Blake's care?
On the 25th of July of this year.
And what was the impetus of you doing that?
I have a letter that I sent her that listed the reasons why I was terminating her services.
Let me see the letter.
The straw that broke the camel's back was that I allowed her to take my son to Las Vegas because she was going there for 4 days, one of which on the very first day was my dad's day off because my father lives there. And I would figure, well, she can take my son to see his grandfather.
Yes.
So the very first day that she was there, it was my dad's day off. My dad did not see his grandson that day.
Right.
My dad didn't see his grandson until the night before they left, and only for half an hour. So I was on the phone with my dad when she walked in the front door. So my dad says, well, they're here. I'm going to see my grandson. I hung up the phone. Half hour later, I called him back expecting to hear, oh, yeah, everything's going great. You know, I'm loving my grandson. I don't get that. I get, she doesn't like you. I said, well, Dad, why doesn't she like me? She has nothing good to say about you. She said, you're self-centered. She says, you're never there for your son. And I said, you know, this is why I had her as a babysitter, because I'm in the Navy and sometimes I do work some late hours and I live 40 miles from work. So sometimes I go home and I sit in traffic for an hour and a half and I don't get there till 6, 7 o'clock at night. And it's not that I don't want to be there for my son. It's just that I had her services so that I wouldn't have to go to my boss and say, it's 4 o'clock, I got to pick up my son from daycare.
Your Honor, just a second.
Okay.
So are you telling me that the reason you decided to terminate her employment, by the way, how much did you pay her?
$300 twice a month. My father also told me that...
Don't tell me anything that your father told you, sir, because that's all hearsay. So you paid her a little over $600 a month. Is that right?
He didn't pay for the first 4 months. We got the baby on December 26th. He had nothing, no diapers, no clothes, no items. This is the first baby item I bought him.
Just a second. So what you're telling me the first 4 months
4
he
months,
gave you...
nothing,
Is
not
that right?
one dime.
No, that's not true.
Show me proof that for the first 4 months you paid her $300 twice a month.
I paid her in cash. She insisted on it.
And later?
It was all cash. I mean, I paid her by check one time, and she got upset because she said she didn't want to have to make a trip to the bank.
So let me ask you this question, sir. You wrote this after you had already taken your son
Out of her
without
care.
telling her.
Right.
So
But she
you
has
took
Your Honor, I have court documents to where Carolyn was so involved in his divorce and so pushy in regards to the care of Carolyn that
Cody.
the attorney actually asked that she not be in the picture anymore.
Doesn't make any difference. I told you once before. I didn't ask you anything. When did you meet him?
In March.
When did you start dating?
March,
And were you dating in April?
yes.
Where did you live?
In Oceanside.
How did you meet him?
I met him online.
And when did you decide to get married?
June.
So you decided to get married in June, and in July, all of these irritants that had been bothering him for 2 years all of a sudden made it so that he took the child out of Miss Blake's custody without giving her any advanced warning. Is that the time frame we're talking about?
That's right.
Right. I got it. So you'll answer me when I ask you a question. Do you have children?
No.
Okay. Is somebody from Child Protective Services currently monitoring your home?
No, they closed the case.
Did I look as if I was looking at you? I was looking at him.
They closed the case and they sent they gave
I
me a
want to
letter.
see the closed letter. This letter suggests that they conducted an investigation over a 2-month period, and that you now have your child in a licensed daycare facility, but they recommend that he be tested at the Hope Infant program because the daycare provider thinks that the child may have some developmental deficiencies. Have you done that, sir?
I have already.
And what's the result?
The daycare provider thought he might have a speech delay like one of his other brothers did. And I had a representative of the Hope Infant program come to my home, and it was determined that he does not have a speech delay because he's been talking, he's been putting 3-word sentences together and doing just fine.
Okay. Now we're going to get back to my original question, Mr. Brakefield, and that is, why did you not notify Miss Blake that you planned not to return Cody to her care?
Because before my first wife lost her parental rights, we had actually agreed to physical custody sharing. I informed Miss Blake of that, and she got very angry with me and started yelling at me that I was sending my son off to die, and so I figured, not wanting to go through that again and not knowing what her reaction this time would be, I figured a written letter would be the best route to go.
But you took him on July 25th, according to you, and you didn't write this letter, according to the date on the letter, until August 13th. So between July 25th and August 13th, what communication did you have with her?
I had none.
Well, that's wrong,
Except
sir.
when I told her I was going to go to Las Vegas to visit my father, which instead I went to another location, and my father started receiving phone calls from her demanding to know where I was, and my sister said she didn't know, and she was told by Miss Blake that she didn't care about me, she didn't care about Cody.
Don't listen to me. That's all hearsay. I'm asking you what you did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had bad judgment when you picked wife numero uno. I hope that you had better judgment when you picked numero due. I'm not so sure.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marvin Brakefield and his wife Jennifer Jesse claim child care provider Carolyn Blake falsely accused him of kidnapping his son.
Mr. Brakefield, you're coming to court today, a man who, because of circumstances, finds himself in a position of having to care for an infant full-time and have a job. You did it with the help of Miss Blake for almost 2 years.
Right.
Then you meet this lady, and I gather from your complaint and from her answer that these two ladies did not get along.
At first they did when I first brought her over to her
Right now,
house.
it may be the first minute. After that, they did not get along. And within a month of the two of you deciding to make a life together, you remove Cody from Miss Blake's custody and don't tell her that you're not coming back. And expect her, listen to me, sir, and expect her to just say, well, I guess he decided to take the boy himself. There you go. And forget about it. And some 3.5 weeks later, sent her a letter outlining why you took him from her custody. I don't think that's right. So
I wasn't sure what her reaction would be, and I didn't want to risk
all you have to do is send her a
being screamed at and yelled at.
telegram. I've decided to terminate your responsibilities with regard to Cody. I will not be bringing him back. After I return from vacation, I have found another daycare provider, period.
I don't think it would have made a difference in her reaction.
Well, you don't know, but at least you would have done the right thing.
I have several harassing phone calls on my cell phone. She threatened to sue for custody of my son. The time she threatened to call CPS. She called my command on several occasions. There are times that she on several of the phone calls says, I am Cody's mother, and even has a message directly to Cody saying, this is mommy, this is your mother. It's just anybody who's ever read this or heard the messages thinks we did the right thing by getting him out of her care.
Listen to me. I don't necessarily think you did the wrong thing by deciding to resume full-time physical custody of your child. You now had a fiancé who was going to be living with you, so you were in a better position to take care of him. I don't fault you, sir, for removing Cody and deciding to take him back in your full-time charge. I fault you for the method in which you did it. You did it in a heartless fashion. Very heartless. Not only heartless for her, but heartless for your son. He's a 2-year-old child. And the only maternal figure that he's known in 2 years is her. So whether you decide to take him back full-time, you sit down, you have a conversation, and you say, listen, you may like it, you may not like it, but I'm getting married, and I am going to take Cody back. We're going to make a family, the three of us, but I'd like to be able to do this in an orderly fashion. I'd like to be able to bring him to you 3 days a week, and then bring him 2 days a week, and then down to 1 day a week, and you can always visit him so that the transition for my son would be easier. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
If she rejected that, you've at least done the right thing. But you can't do the wrong thing and then come to court and expect me to feel sorry for you because after you did the wrong thing, she called Child Protective Services. What you did was wrong. What you did was abusive to a child who has the only other parent that they know, the one that they're with most of the time, because when you pick him up after work, then he goes to sleep. And that's those days that you're not picking him up because you're going to the gym and taking care of other personal business, right, according to you.
It's part of my job is mandatory. It's a mandatory military regulation that you work out 3 days a week.
Great! What does your 2-year-old son have to do with that? All he knows is the only person that's taking care of him is her.
Yep.
And what you did was precipitously and without any thought to how it was going to impact on him, you removed him from the only family that he knew without a transition. And that, as far as I'm concerned, was abusive. And that, as far as I'm concerned, deserves a call to Child Protective Services and say, what kind of person has this kind of judgment? I'm afraid for the kind of judgment that he is exercising with regard to this 2-year-old. You got my drift? I've raised some children, and I have grandchildren, and you're supposed to take the position as a parent that you're supposed to do what's best for them, the children, all the time. Now, what's best for your girlfriend, but what's best for the child. Right. Not even for what's best for her. Right. She's not the issue. You're grown-ups. He's not a grown-up. He's a baby. And you and your first wife put him in a position. You had bad judgment when you picked wife numero uno. I hope that you had better judgment when you picked numero due. I'm not so sure. But you and your first wife, it was your bad judgment picking somebody who wasn't ready to have a family. It It was second poor judgment that you had a baby with somebody that wasn't ready to have a family. You find a caregiver who was given your child, was kept him safe, fed, clean, because you didn't remove him from her custody for 2 years, so evidently her care could not have been that inadequate, sir. And then when you decide to do it, you do it in a fashion that is not designed to ease the transition. As far as I'm concerned, that's neglectful and very bad judgment. So, did you call Child Protective Services?
Yes, you better believe I did.
Good for you. Your case is dismissed.
That's case number 345 on the calendar in the matter of Fletcher versus Manus. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Mr. Fletcher, you and the defendant used to date.
Yes, ma'am.
And there came a time when, according to your complaint, the defendant had accused you of being unfaithful.
Yes, ma'am.
And you said to her, it's not true. Here's a blank check. I'm signing it. You take this blank check and go hire yourself a private investigator and investigate me. Yep. So far, is that right?
Yes.
So she took the blank check, she filled it out, made it payable to herself for a couple of $1,000s.
Mm-hmm. Ma'am?
Who did you make it payable to?
He made it payable to me.
Oh.
He put my name in it.
Fine. You just filled in the amount.
Yes, ma'am.
Then things didn't go well. She accused you of stalking her.
Mm-hmm.
You were arrested, had to hire a lawyer. Those charges were subsequently dismissed. So you want the $2,000 back from the check and the attorney's fees.
That's correct.
Ms. Main says she cashed that check and wrote in $2,000 because she had to be taught a lesson not to be such an idiot. I mean, she doesn't say that, but that's about what she said. And that she had grounds to file a complaint for stalking because you were, in fact, stalking her and making her very uncomfortable. Was he stalking you because he wanted his money back?
He never asked for the money back, Your Honor.
Never?
No.
When, for the first time, did he ask for the money back?
I received a
let's say,
a letter
let's start from
at
the
work.
beginning. When did he give you the check?
It was end of April, first part of May.
Can I see a copy of the check, please?
Yes, ma'am. I put together this, and it's got an index for all things, or do you just want that?
Listen to me. I'm not as young as I used to be. Okay. Just give me a copy of the check.
There's some other stuff stapled to it.
April 6th. But that's the date on the check. And it was cashed?
In the upper right-hand corner there, it's the 8th of April, is when it actually transpired through the bank.
2 days later. Didn't waste any time.
No.
What'd you do with all the money?
I paid a bill of my daughter's.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Okay, then I have here some emails. You were hell-bent to give me these things anyway. This one is dated Thursday, April 8th, 9:14 a.m. From you. No, David, I'm not going to hire a PI with your money, but I'm going to hold on to your money for a couple of months so you can sweat a little. That should be long enough to teach you a lesson on giving someone a blank check. By the way, I cashed it for $2,000, and you did have money in the account. You're lucky I didn't cash it for $10,000 like someone suggested. You lied to me about how much money was in your account, so you must not trust me. I hate liars, and once I'm lied to, I have a hard time believing anything that a person says to me in the future. How much after that did you break up with him?
We were broke up.
2 days later after he gave you the check?
Prior to the check.
You're not a nice person.
Maybe not.
Well, you're right. Well, I'm glad if somebody knows themselves. That's the first step to self-healing. I mean, you took advantage of him.
I don't feel that I did, Your Honor.
You don't feel as if you took advantage of him. He gave you this check for what reason? He gave you the check. He said, I haven't been doing the wrong thing. I have been doing the right thing. Here, take this. You should have taken it, ripped it in 10 pieces and say, listen, David, it's over. I'm not interested in you. Instead, you took the check. You cashed the check. You went and bought yourself something. You paid a bill for your daughter. And then, after you told me, I'm going to hold on to the money for a couple of months. That's what you said to him. So far, you owe him $2,000.
Excuse me?
So far, you owe him $2,000 because you said you were going to give it back to him. That's what you said in the email. That's your email. That's what you said. You said, I'm going to
me?
I don't care what he wrote to you. You told him that I'm going to hold on to it long enough to teach you a lesson. Did you learn your lesson?
Yes, ma'am, unfortunately.
Now, can I see when you filed stalking charges against him? Did you continue to send her letters and emails and flowers?
Well, what I'd like to do is present my evidence on this, if I could.
Listen
While
to
we
me.
were dating, I did.
Listen to me.
When we were
Listen to me. Watch me. After she cashed this check, did you send her flowers?
The last flowers I sent her was the first or second week of April. After the check, we were broke up for like a week. We got back together, and I have emails that she has communicated with me.
When you say you got back together, did you take her out for dinner?
We went out to dinner, and I have my business partner here that came over to Gold Beach, and she'd actually went out to dinner with us.
After April 8th?
After, yes.
Okay. Now, when did you tell him that you didn't want him calling you anymore?
I can answer that.
Go ahead.
It was May 19th, and I have the last email correspondence that I actually had with her.
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am. This was the last correspondence. That's when she told me that she had a boyfriend and I was cramping her style, evidently.
I don't take
May
cramping
19th.
style.
And from that point on, I had no more contact with her, other than after I got served with a stalking order, which I got served. That was May 19th. When I had a hospital appointment, I had to have some surgery done at the hospital there. She works there, and bumped into me. And after I got done with my surgery and I got home, the next thing I know, I'm getting served with a stalking order. And that was, I hadn't saw her for almost a month.
How come you never told the police that you ripped him off for $2,000? I don't see that anywhere here.
Your Honor, I didn't rip him off for
Yes,
$2,000.
you did.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh, you did.
Okay.
Oh, you did.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How come you didn't say to yourself, maybe if I give him back the $2,000 that I took from him, maybe he would leave me alone? What are you looking at me? Am I speaking a foreign language to you?
And later today,
Would you describe the dog when you went there?
She was bleeding really bad from her mouth, and when I tried to, move her lips to see what was wrong, it was like a seizure. Like, she started turning her head around real bad.
How did this happen to his dog?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. David Fletcher claims ex-girlfriend Brenda Manus owes for illegally cashing a check and for falsely accusing him of stalking.
Now, he didn't make you a gift, he didn't make you a loan. It was clear that he was trying to be a boyfriend and gave you this check. And initially, put your hand down. Initially, what you said was, 2 days after you cashed the check was, I'm just going to hold on to it for a couple of months to teach you a lesson, not to be a fool and give somebody a blank check. Somewhere along the line, you changed your mind after you spent the money. So my question to you is, how come you didn't tell the police when you filed these charges against him, not for threatening you in any way, just he sent you emails, he sent you flowers, then he called you. How come you didn't say anywhere in any of these statements that I took $2,000 from his bank account? You didn't think that was relevant?
Nope.
No. And how come you didn't, if you thought that he was stalking you, how come you didn't say to yourself, maybe if I give him back the $2,000 that I took from him and made a fool out of him, maybe he would leave me alone and wouldn't bother me. And here's the $2,000, because he says to you in an email, why don't you just give me back my $2,000? I'll leave a deposit slip for you. What are you looking at me? Am I speaking a foreign language to you?
I would like to see that. I don't recall
Sure.
that.
Sure.
Thank you.
How much was your lawyer?
$712.
$712, did you say?
Yeah.
Refresh your recollection now? When he says, I'll leave you a deposit slip, please put my money back in my account. When did you do that, Miss Maines?
When did I put the money back in his account?
Yeah.
I did not.
And if somebody was stalking me, if someone was following me around, if someone was coming to my place of business, I would say, gee, I want to remove any irritant that might exist with that person because they feel like a fool. Not a nice person. You were right at the beginning. First statement was right. You are not. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,712. You don't abuse the courts by filing stalking petitions when you've done the wrong thing. Goodbye.
Why does that excuse? You may step out.
He's mad because I filed the stalking order on him.
No, there was no stalking.
He emailed me constantly. I blocked his email.
Only part of the hateful part was the part that she told me when she had a boyfriend.
Called 2 and 3 times a week.
I emailed her back and I told her what I thought of her leading me on like that.
He would not leave me alone.
She basically wrote the check for more than she was supposed to.
He gave it to me.
It was supposed to be paid back. It wasn't paid back.
Was never asked to be returned.
There'll be no more blank checks.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Fisk versus Billy, step forward, please.
18-year-old cashier Francis Fisk is suing his former friend, construction worker Diane Billy, for injuries his pit bull received while in Diane's care. Diane is countersuing for unpaid dog-sitting fees.
According to what I read, you have a dog. What kind of a dog is it?
She's a pit bull mix.
And for some reason, you were moving, whatever, you couldn't take the dog with you, so you asked the defendant if she would be willing to take care of your dog for a while.
Yes, there was an agreement set up between her and my girlfriend's father, and she's a friend of his. And,
yes.
He asked her if she'd keep the dog. She said, yeah, it's not a problem. She lives out in the country as long as we supplied her food.
The agreement was not with you, it was with your girlfriend's father.
That's right.
Okay. And how long was she supposed to mind the dog for?
We didn't really have a set time. It was just until we found a new place to live.
So anywhere from a day to 10 years?
Basically, just until we found a spot to live.
According to your complaint, when you got the dog back, someone had severely beaten the dog.
Yes, that's right.
And had severe head trauma. You want Miss Billy to take care of the vet bills.
Yes.
That's what the case is about. And Miss Billy says she doesn't know what happened to the dog. She certainly didn't beat the dog. And you owe her for food and for boarding the dog. So that's your counterclaim.
Yes, ma'am.
When did she take possession of your dog?
It was towards the end of August.
How old is this dog?
13 months.
How long had you had her?
Like 10 months.
From the time she was a puppy?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you go to visit regularly?
Yeah, at least 3 or 4 times a week.
And did you bring the food as you promised you would?
Yes.
All the time?
We left the bag over there so she could feed the dog when we weren't there. But every time we went over there, my dog's food bowl was empty, her water bowl was dry.
If that happened every time, Mr. Fisk, why didn't you remove the dog from her care?
Because I had no place else to take her.
Why didn't you allow her to be adopted by somebody else?
Nobody wants a pit bull.
Well, you wanted a pit bull.
That's right.
I had another case not long ago with people who had a pit bull. So evidently a lot of people had a pit bull. That's not a smart thing to do.
It was hard. I mean, it was...
What efforts did you make to try to find somebody else to take the dog?
Everything I could. I talked to my mother, her friends, everybody I knew, and I couldn't find a place.
Did you put an ad in the paper?
No.
For a 10-month-old pit bull?
No.
Friendly?
No, I didn't put any ads in the paper.
When did you find the dog injured?
I got a call on October 15th at about 10:30 saying, your dog is sick, I don't know what's wrong with her, you need to come get her. I couldn't go, I had to go to work, so I got in contact with my girlfriend at school. She came home, her and her stepmother went and got the dog and took her to the vet.
When did you see the dog?
When I picked her up from the vet's office after I got off work.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Justine Price.
Ms. Price, would you describe the dog when you went there?
Well, she was usually kept in a kennel, and she was in their breezeway inside of a cardboard box. She was bleeding really bad from her mouth, and when I tried to, move her lips to see what was wrong, I don't know, it was like a seizure. She started turning her head around real bad, so we took her to the vet.
You have a report from the vet?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please.
Do you just want all the evidence?
No, I want the report from the vet. The dog had a broken jaw as a result of trauma. They wired her jaw. How did this happen to his dog?
I don't know.
Who lives in your house?
I have roommates that live there. Matt was there.
Who's Matt? How is he related to you?
He's not. He's a good friend of mine. I work with him.
Was Matt at home when this happened?
We don't know what happened. The dog was loose for 2 days, and I called to let them know that the dog was loose for 2 days. And
when was the dog loose? What, 2 days?
2 days before, the Friday that I fed the dog, it came back that Thursday. She got loose on Wednesday, and she was gone for 2 days.
And then she came back?
And she came back. I tied her up. It was dark out. I tied her up. I didn't think that anything was wrong with her. She didn't act, And then the next morning when I went to go feed her, that's when her head was sideways and she looked sick, so I called Frankie to let him know that their dog was sick and they'd take it to the vet. And he said he had to go to work. They never
You know what happened to the dog?
I have no idea.
What?
He's the one that's accused of hitting my dog. But I couldn't do anything about it because I couldn't prove it.
Well, what makes you think he hit your dog?
Because the person that spoke to her and spoke to us told us the whole story. I mean, I wasn't there. I can't say that's what happened. But I heard the same story from 2 people that both associate with Diane. They both go over there and party and get drunk and whatnot. They both associate with her. And they both told me that he's the one that hit my dog.
Oh, somebody hit your dog. What do you do for a living?
Work construction, concrete.
How old are you?
18.
Did you have a party over there on October 14th?
Yeah.
I don't hear you.
It
Yeah
was
is not an answer. Yes is an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
How many people were at the party?
Just a couple people. It was.
A couple is 2.
All right, like 5 or 6.
Now, I want you to list the 5 or 6 people that were at the house. I want you to make sure you list them all right.
Sean, Becca, Dusty, me, Diane, and Marky.
And what was the drink of choice that evening?
Bud Light.
Anything other than Bud Light?
No, ma'am.
Where was Miss Bealey?
Oh, she was there. I'm sorry.
Were you playing any games that evening, sir?
No, ma'am.
Where was the dog?
Outside.
Tied up?
Yeah, it should have been.
Is the dog making noise?
It barked.
How many times did the dog bark?
I don't know.
Did you go out to see?
Dogs bark. They were both barking.
So between the time you had this party on the 14th and the 15th, something happened to the dog. What do you think that was?
I have no idea.
I don't either. All right, let's take care of this. You are responsible for the vet bills, madam. When you assume a responsibility, even if you assume a gratuitous responsibility, you have an obligation to see to it that no harm happens to this dog. We understand each other? And if you've got 5 or 6 teenagers, either chronologically or mentally, drinking beer in your house, and something happens to this dog, that's your fault. Now, these are prospective vet bills. It may work, the jaw wiring may work, and may not work. We
When I spoke to my vet, she's had some problems breathing. And when I spoke to him, he said there's more than like a 90% chance she's going to have the major surgery.
Probably. Well, in any event, this dog has suffered substantially. Your claim is for $1,000, which, as far as I'm concerned, is most reasonable considering the vet bills that you had and the prospective vet bills. And I'm giving you these vet bills because I believe that they're responsible for what happened to your dog. Either they or some of the other drunken people that were at her house on the 14th of October. But I have pets. I love them. And if I left them someplace and went over to see them and there was no food and no water, that may happen once. But you said you never saw food and water in the bowl.
It was hard.
Then you don't tell me it was hard. It's your fault. Better off to take a dog to the Humane Society and let them look for another home for the dog rather than to let the dog stay there and be without food and water so that it runs away and to have its head used as a golf ball. You're not supposed to be an idiot even though you're 18. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. In the matter of Chamber versus Bousman. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young folks have a seat.
What's your name?
Travis.
Travis, I'd like you to come sit up here, please. Mr. and Mrs. Chambers, it is your claim that this young man, armed with a stick, hit your son in the mouth, causing his teeth to fall out.
Yes.
You
Yes,
want
ma'am.
his father to pay for all of his medical bills and dental bills.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Bousman says that it was your son who instigated this problem. He's not responsible. So, Travis, how old are you, sir?
11.
Do you know this young man?
Yes.
What's his name?
Cody.
How long have you known Cody?
For a really long
No, don't
time.
look down. Look at me, right here.
For a really long time.
Do you remember when you hit him in the mouth with a stick?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me what happened? Don't look down at your feet. Look right over here.
My sister was...
Don't look, you're looking down. I want you to look right here.
My sister was playing with his sister, and he got on my sister's bike, and I came around the block and seen him on her bike and messing around and tormenting her.
You didn't see how he got the bike, is that right?
Well, I seen him take it from her when I was coming down the road.
Now you're looking over there. I want you to look over here. You said you came around and you saw him riding your sister's bike. I want you to be very, very careful, Travis. I have a truth meter right here. If somebody lies to me, this eye starts to flutter like this. Do you understand? So I don't care what story you told your father before. When you're in court, you tell only the truth. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now, you said you came around the corner and you saw him riding your sister's bike.
Yes.
What did you say to him when you saw him riding your sister's bike?
I seen my sister getting upset, and I asked them to please get off the bike.
When you saw your sister getting upset, what was she doing?
She was sobbing and asking him to get off the bike. And
Okay. And what did he say?
He said no, and he started laughing and messing around.
What happened next? Look, don't look down there. Look over here.
He started to ride on the bike, and then he threw it in the street in front of a van.
He got off the bike?
Yes.
Where was he when he got off the bike?
Not on the corner, but like on the side of his house.
And what did he do when he got off the bike?
He ghost rided it in the street.
What does ghost riding it in the street mean?
Run with the bike and then let it go.
What's the next thing that happened?
The van came up and locked its tires up.
What do you mean locked its tires up?
Tried to stop and it was squealing.
Okay. And then?
He got the bike
Don't
again.
look down. Look here.
He got the bike again, and I asked him to get off it again.
Where was he riding it? Up and down the block?
Yes.
Well, where was he again when you told him to get off the bike?
Riding away from me.
And what did he say? Did he say anything?
No.
Okay, because you were just about to say he said something, but he didn't say anything.
No.
He just rode away.
Yes.
Then what happened?
He was about at the alley, and I went across the street to tell somebody, but there wasn't enough time because he was messing with my sister again, so I grabbed
was your sister in the alley?
No.
Where was she?
He rode up by the corner by that time.
And where was your sister?
My sister was on the side of the house, and he was tormenting her again.
Well, tell me how he was tormenting her. What was he doing to torment her?
Teasing her.
What did he
the
do
bike.
to tease her?
He was saying, I want to see you get the bike back, and I'm not going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grabbed this broomstick and asked him to get off it again, and he rode around, turned around, and came riding at me laughing. So I took the broomstick and I hit him.
Where did you hit him?
I was meaning to hit him right here. Not that hard, but
Where did you hit him?
In the face.
Did he get off the bike?
Yes.
Step down. Tell me your name.
Tony.
Tony, come up here, please. How old are you, Tony?
8.
Do you know Cody?
Yes.
Do you remember when your brother picked up a stick and hit him in the mouth?
Yes.
Was your brother frightened after he did that? Don't look down. Was he frightened that he had hit him in the mouth?
Yes.
What did he say to you after he hit Cody in the mouth?
He didn't say anything.
How did you know he was frightened?
I saw his face.
Do you think he knew he had done the wrong thing?
Yes.
Do you think he did the wrong thing?
Yes.
Tell me how Cody got the bike from you.
I put it on the sidewalk and put its kickstand down and went playing with his sister, and he took it.
Did he ask you if he could ride it?
No.
He just took it?
Yes.
And what happened when he took the bike?
My brother was coming around the corner, and he asked him to get off because he saw me getting mad, and he said no and started riding away.
Is that when he hit him with the stick?
No.
When did he hit him with the stick?
And then he came back and got off the bike, and then I went back over to play, and then my brother went over across the street. He got back on the bike, and then he started riding over the side of his house, and my brother came over from across the street, and he asked him to get off the bike. And so he got off the bike, and he started running with it and threw it in the street, and the van locked up its brakes. And I was trying to go get it. My brother holding me back, and he made Cody go get it, and then he got back on it after he got it. My brother hit him with a stick, and he went in and told his dad.
Good girl. Sit down, Tony.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You think your son was justified in hitting this young man in the mouth, causing him to lose his front teeth?
Yes.
No wonder your son doesn't know how to behave.
And later today,
I was paying her cash.
Show me receipts.
She never wrote me receipts. You're self-employed. Why would I give you a receipt?
If you're going to speak to Miss Wash, you want me to throw you out?
No, I'm sorry.
You want me to throw you out?
No, I do not.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tammy and Kevin Chambers say their neighbor, 11-year-old Travis Bousman, hit their son, 13-year-old Cody, in the face with a broomstick. Travis says Cody was teasing his little sister.
How old are you, Cody?
13.
How come you got on Tony's bike?
She said I could ride it.
When did she say you could ride it?
When she was playing with my sister, I asked her nicely if I could ride it. She said yeah.
Did her brother come by and tell you to get off the bike?
Yeah, and I told him that his sister said I could ride it.
Okay. Did you take the bike and throw it in the street?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Tell me what happened when he hit you in the mouth.
I was riding the bike in the street. Then I went, turned up into the driveway thing by the alley. Then he whacked me.
Did you lose any teeth?
Yeah, my front one.
Which tooth?
This one.
So that's a false tooth?
Not false. It's
It's a crown?
Yeah.
So you had to go to the dentist? How many times did you have to go to the dentist?
Probably around 3 or 4 times, maybe.
Okay. You have any other work that you have to have done?
Yeah, I think so. I have to go back to get checked, the bottom teeth, see if they're damaged.
Okay. Sit down. So, you think your son was justified in hitting this young man with a stick and knocking out his teeth? I'm asking you, now that you heard the story, you think your son was justified in picking up a broomstick and hitting this young man in the mouth, causing him to lose his front teeth?
I think he stuck up for his sister. That's what I would expect from my son.
So your answer is you think he was justified in picking up a stick and hitting him in the mouth over the bicycle. That's what I'm asking you, Mr. Bozeman.
Yes.
Yes. No wonder your son doesn't know how to behave. Listen to me. You had no right to hit him with a stick. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good. Did your father tell you that?
Yes.
So if you told him that, how come you're not telling me that today, Mr. Bozeman? If you told him that he had no right to hit him with a stick, why do you stand there and assume the stupid position today that he was sticking up for his sister, and that's an appropriate response for a child to assault somebody with a weapon because he was teasing his sister, even if that happened? Are you going to answer me?
Yes.
Then answer me.
I feel that he was sticking up for his sister. The stick, maybe not to go that far, but sticking up for his sister, throwing the bike in the road, that was very serious to me.
Yes, I agree with you, sir.
Out in front of a van to go get it, that could have been her life.
Listen to me. Listen to me. That's a lot of who shot John. That part of the story was very well put together by both of your children using the exact same words. Wheels locked, truck, van, wheels locked. That didn't happen. The riding around on the bike happened. Maybe the teasing happened. Maybe your son said to him, get off the bike. And he said, I'm not getting off the bike. And then your daughter got upset. What I'm asking you is, was the assault justified?
He shouldn't use a stick, no.
Right. And if that was not justified, sir, you are responsible for these medical and dental bills. Do you understand that?
Yes. May I say something else?
Sure.
It was wrong for her to corner my 2 children belligerently, swearing at them, and they didn't make that up.
No.
And she was drinking.
No.
They didn't make that up.
Listen
And she did come after my wife, swinging, and her husband pulled her back into the house, and she did make my children cry at that point.
So, that has nothing to do with this case.
Okay.
If she behaved badly, that's something that she has to deal with. That's not an excuse for his behavior. You're not supposed to make excuses for your son's behavior that was wrong. He certainly understands the consequence of what he did, don't you?
Yes.
So, while he has a right to stand up for his sister, he has no right to assault someone with a deadly instrument. You get it?
Got it.
You get it?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,087. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She was cornered at the house the whole time.
I didn't see the daughter.
Making her cry.
The only one that was there was the boy, and I told him to go get his mother.
She was yelling at us.
Me and the mother got into it.
She said the B word and the F word.
She's the one that called me a... I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
I don't think I had the right to hit him.
I wasn't teasing the young girl.
He didn't have the right to push my sister around and call her names or throw her bike in front of a van either.
I do believe my kids.
I guess you can't protect them in all the ways.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Washington versus Shonen, step forward, please.
Salon owner Daniel Washington is suing her former co-worker, manicurist Gianna Shonen, for unpaid booth rent. Daniel says Gianna quit without paying her tab.
Miss Washington, according to your complaint, you own a beauty salon. The defendant rented a booth from you in that salon. You claim she left owing you rent. Some $300 is what your claim is. And Ms. Shonen says that you wanted her out. She left. She owes you nothing. When did Ms. Shonen come to you to rent a space?
I believe it was in April or May.
When did she start to rent the space?
I believe April.
And what was the rental agreement?
The rental agreement was every Saturday when she came in, rent was due $75 on Saturday morning.
$75 a week?
Yes.
Starting when?
In April.
Okay. When was your last day at the salon?
It was the end of July. When I got there, I had 65 clients that moved with me from a previous salon. By the end of the time of the salon, I only had 5 clients left. I have my bank statement stating the money that I had made when I was getting there and how it declined.
Your Honor, she's lying.
My last day at the salon was because I went to go put my booth rent in on a Saturday evening.
She's lying.
She locked me out of the salon. She had changed the keys. I called her that evening. It was very late, and she told me that she locked me out because she hadn't spoke to me.
Okay. Miss Washington, at some point, you boxed up her things. When was that?
The last weekend in July.
Now, what do you claim she owes you rent for?
Booth rental. I have
booth rental. How much?
$300.
From when?
From June the 5th, she never paid booth rent. June the 12th, she never paid rent.
Okay.
June the 19th, I went out of town. She told me that morning, I'm going to come in and pay the manager. Don't worry about it.
Keep going.
June the 26th, she never paid rent again. She would show up and do clients, and we allowed her to do clients because she was thinking that we gave her a 5-day notice.
I was on commission during...
Shh. She was not on commission at that time. She's lying.
I don't know what commission is as opposed to booth rent.
Booth rent is you pay a flat fee every week. Commission is you pay out of everything you make.
So between the 5th of June and the 26th of June, how much money did you give her?
Your Honor, I was on commission during that time. When she took me off of commission,
I didn't take
she
her
took me off of commission. She told me she could not afford to have me on commission in her salon. In June, I was paying her cash. I was paying her cash.
Can you show me receipts?
She never wrote me receipts.
Everyone in the salon has a receipt book, and they come to us and put the receipt in.
So really,
you're self-employed. You're self-employed. Why would I give you a receipt?
If you're going to speak to Miss Washington, you want me to throw you out?
No, I'm sorry.
You want me to throw you out?
No, I do not.
Do you have receipts from June 5th to June 26th?
The last, when I stopped writing checks, that's the last receipts that I have.
Why did you stop writing checks?
The copies of my bank
You're going to be
statements.
gone. This is your last chance. Last chance. And you know, when I say last chance, it is your last chance. You got it?
Yes.
I'm serious with you. We don't talk out. This is a court. This is not a tea dance.
Yes, Your Honor.
You said that before.
I had went on commission. That's why when she
Just a second, Ms. Showen. In May, were you on commission or booth rent?
In May, I was on booth rent.
And at the end of April, were you on booth rent?
In April, I was on booth rent.
So what you're telling me is Miss Washington, who was in business to make money, said to you, well, you can't pay me booth rent, which is what I want, which is $75, but I'm going to allow you, because your clientele is not so good, I'm going to allow you to go on commission, which means I'm going to make less money for the entire month of June. She's going to make less money. Is that right? Is that what you want me to believe? Is that, I just want to know, is that what you want me to believe?
Yes, Your Honor, that's the truth.
And then in the entire month of June, how much money did you give her?
It's all written down inside my book on the money I made.
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Yes.
Every single time that she made money, she only every single time said, this is what I can give you. This is what I can give you.
Just a second. Miss Washington, I believe you.
Every single time.
I have copies of checks when I paid her.
Do you have the book?
We started having a conflict after my
Listen to me.
dropped.
I do not believe you that this lady who is in business to make money would say to you, you don't have to pay that $75 a week because you don't have a good enough business to pay $75 a week.
Well, I
pay less than $75 a week. So, all right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are seven on the calendar in the matter of Theodorov versus Rector Huff. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mrs. Theodoroff, according to your complaint, the defendant, who is your sister, and the co-defendant, who is her fiancé, owe you some money for several things. First, a loan that you made to them for security deposit when they moved into an apartment. Second, some money for some bills that you loaned them. And finally, for the return or value of some personal property. Personal property consists of some furniture that you claim to have loaned them, and second, a ring set that you say was an heirloom from your mother given to you that you merely loaned to the defendant. Your last name is Huff?
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
In order to propose to your sister, and you were supposed to get it back.
That's correct.
And the defendants say that the money that you did give them was for babysitting for your daughter, that the furniture was furniture that you were going to throw out because you bought new stuff. And as far as the rings are concerned, the rings, your sister said, belongs to your mother, who is still alive, and she returned the rings to your mother. That the case? And then you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim argues that because of some disagreement that you and your sister had, she has embarked upon a vendetta and put sugar in your gas tank and ruined your bank credit because she locked into your bank credit online and caused you to lose money, lose wages, whatever. Anyway, you have a counterclaim for harassment. You and your sister and her fiancé lived in a house that you owned for a period of time. Is that right?
Yes.
And when was that?
That was January of '03.
And how long had you been living with your sister?
Just from January '03 until
October of '03.
Yes.
What happened with the house?
When they had first moved in, we had, made arrangements for rent. I asked for $100 out of each of their paychecks, which totaled $400 a month. I was lucky to get that.
You lost the house, according to what you wrote in your complaint. When?
In June, I had said, okay, you guys, I will cover the mortgage payment. You guys cover the bills. The bills didn't get covered. In October, I was drowning in debt. I'd just been through a horrible divorce. I just said, I got to sell the house. I got to get out.
And how much money did you clear from the house?
$5,000.
And what did you do with the $5,000?
I paid the deposits on the apartment, rent.
Which deposits?
Both for my apartment and for their apartment.
Is that right?
I have a copy of that check.
Yes. And how much was the deposit on your apartment?
$500.
Why didn't you have your own $500 for security deposit?
Because we had been babysitting for her daughter for the entire year that we lived with her, almost a year. And she was supposed to pay us for that, and she never did. And she told us when she sold the house that she would pay our security deposit and give us $1,000 to pay our first month's rent and to get car insurance in order to clear the debt of watching her daughter.
And you say that never happened?
No.
Okay. How many rent checks do you have there for $400?
None of them are for $400.
We paid $100 out of each one of our paychecks.
Okay. How many $100 checks do you have to the plaintiff?
Approximately 10.
Now, may I see it, please? I have June 18th for $200. Well, so far, that's $1,150 that you have memorialized in rent, and you owe her $3,600 in rent.
Your Honor, during this time, we were a family. Cash kind of flowed back and forth. We never really thought that we would have to...
No. You cannot demonstrate to me that you don't owe her, at the time you moved out of the house, $2,450. Now, what about the other money that you gave them? Because according to your complaint, you gave them other money for bills.
I have another copy of some checks. And receipt. And these are bank statements with transfers documented on there from my account into their account. She would call me on my way home from work saying, Lori, the daycare check's going to bounce. Can you please put money in my account? And I always would. Because that's what your family's supposed to do for you, is to help you when you need help.
Well, when are you supposed to stop doing that?
When they hurt you, like I've been hurt, I guess. I'll never do it again.
Okay, now let me hear about the furniture. Do you really want to proceed with this furniture? Did you loan them the furniture, or was it furniture that you were going to get rid of?
No, it was not going to get rid of. As a matter of fact, when I asked for the dresser and queen set back, I was going to use it for my roommate when I moved into another home. And she goes, oh, so you'll let your roommate use it, but not your sister. I paid for the freezer. Super Bowl Sunday, we were at Home Depot, and I paid for it.
We paid for half of the freezer, but I do not have proof of that because I gave her cash.
No, she didn't.
Where's the freezer?
It's still on our patio, and we told her she could come get it at any time.
Why is that on your patio? Is that where you kept it?
Yeah, it's a chest freezer. It's the only place it'll fit.
Oh, fine. She's coming to get it. Make sure it's in good shape. She's coming to get it. Now let's get to the ring set.
The ring set that she's claiming isn't hers, was never hers. It was loaned to her by her mother. I have a sworn statement from her mother with a doctor's note as to why she couldn't be here.
I'd like to see it. Okay, your mother who signed this notarized letter, I'll let you read it. Your mother says that she loaned you the rings when you became engaged and then married, and now she's loaned them to your sister, and she certainly expects to have them back.
Mm-hmm.
They're in her possession now.
And they are in her possession now?
Yes, they are.
Okay, fine. So let's forget about the rings. Now, I want you to tell me about your counterclaim.
Okay. On July 3rd, my witness, Kelly Pruitt, saw Lori Theodoroff break into my bank account on her computer upstairs.
Okay. Step up. Tell me your name.
Kelly Pruitt.
Miss Pruitt, how do you know these two people?
I worked with Lori Theodoroff at Kaiser Hospital, and we became friends. And I was living with her for 2 months. And on July 3rd, the day before we were moving out, she had confronted me about putting a listening device in Jennifer's apartment.
You put a listening device?
Yes. And had overheard Jennifer and I talking about helping her ex-husband to try to get her daughter, Sarah, so he can have full custody because Lori is not a fit mother.
And so I assume you had an argument?
Yes, she had confronted me and was very upset with me.
And what did you say to her?
It's true. I mean, I couldn't deny it. I do not believe how she treats her daughter is to be a fit mother. It's just not right.
Go ahead.
And so she got on the computer, and there were still bank statements in the computer from when Jennifer and Sean would make payments online. And so she charged over $1,000 worth of money online so their rent check would bounce.
Did you say anything to her when you found that she broke into her sister's account?
I said, why are you doing this?
And what did
They could
she
lose
answer?
their home. You're hurting Jennifer, not only Jennifer, but Sean and their son.
And what did she say?
She said, I wonder what else I can do. And then that's when she said, maybe I could put gas in her sugar tank, and laughed about it and said, I wonder what else I can find out to do to hurt them.
Do you recall going into your sister's bank?
No. I don't even know their password or their account number. Well, I know now because it's written on the check that I gave you. I don't know. And I really feel that Kelly's lying because I also have a suit against her for money that we moved into this duplex together. I fronted all of the money, $1,600. I was supposed to get the money from her on July 24th. I came home from work. She was moved out. And I'm sure that this is where these lies are coming from.
Okay. Do you have a police report
Yes,
with
I do.
regard to the bank statement?
Yes.
Okay. Can I see it, please?
I also have the payment activity from that day from our bank.
And Kelly agreed to come on here.
When did you say she moved out?
July 24th.
Well,
May I say
really,
something?
just a second. I really have to tell you, Miss Theodoroff, that the dates here don't gel with your statement. Because according to you, she moved out the end of July, which is when there was confrontation. She was supposed to get you money, and it wasn't until the end of July you came home and found her gone.
Right.
Right? And subsequently you sued her, which
Yes.
is why you say she's lying about this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but the report date on this to the Sacramento Sheriff's Department is July 4th, which is well before that. So it is unlikely that, since you didn't file a lawsuit against her July 4th, that this testimony today, which is consistent with her police report, was not in retaliation for your lawsuit against her. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I believe so, yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
What kind of problem did you have?
A friend of mine caught her in someone's vehicle.
Okay, so you
when
thought
she told me she was with somebody
you thought
else.
she was with somebody else.
She was with somebody else when she was supposed to be at her father's.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lori Theodorov says her sister Jennifer Rector and her fiancé Sean Huff owe for a loan and for the return of property.
What else? Give me the rest. The gas tank.
The gas tank, she had told, Kelly said, that she wanted to hurt me as badly as possible. And so the Tuesday after she moved into her duplex, my car broke down. Well, Lori had picked me up from the daycare where I was stranded and helped me get my car to a shop. Well, then all of this happened, and I found out about her breaking into my account, and I got very angry. And so because I was angry at her, she called the company, the shop where my car was, and told them not to fix it because I wouldn't be able to pay for it. And then I'd had the car back for 4 days, and I found sugar in my gas tank, and I took it straight to the police station and filed a police report.
I'd like to see the police report.
They picked a partial print, but they could not, it wasn't good enough to...
Right. Okay, so this is your statement. Nobody saw her put sugar in the tank. And I'm sure that you will tell me that you didn't do anything to their gas tank.
No, I did not.
Okay. All right, I have that you owe her $2,200, which is for the bills that she paid for you and the $500 deposit. Ms. Theodorov, I believe that you, as it happens, did exactly what Ms. Pruitt says with regard to the computer. I don't think that they have any proof that sufficient proof that you did anything to your sister's gas tank, but I certainly think that I am satisfied with her statement that you did, in fact, go into the computer and mess around with it. And how much did that cost you?
It ended up not costing us very much, only about $50.
Okay.
For canceling checks.
Okay. But as far as I'm concerned, there has to be some penalty for that. You understand me?
Yes.
Yeah. Because you can't do that vindictively. I mean, if you do that, you can go to jail for that. So, on your counterclaim for harassment, I am awarding you $500, which is 10 times the $50 that it cost you to reinstate your bank balance to what it should have been and to remove any penalties that have been placed on your account. You still owe your sister $1,700. Pay her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,700. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Jennifer needs to learn that she can't mooch off people for the I mean, that's all she's done her entire life is mooch.
I have seen her hit and pull her daughter's hair and call her stupid and fat.
This has put a black spot on my heart, and I don't know that if somebody came to me and asked for help if I'd be able to do it.
What makes her such a good liar is she convinces herself that her lies are true well before she tells anyone else.
I mean, I love her, she's my sister, but I don't think I could help her anymore.
If I see her on the side of the road hitchhiking, I'm not going to pick her up because she'll just try to hurt me some more.
And now the next case.
All party in the matter of Demons versus Anise. Step forward, please.
22-year-old student Crystal Demons is suing her ex-boyfriend, 25-year-old truck driver Anthony Anise, for his share of a trip to Niagara Falls. Anthony is countersuing for unpaid rent.
Ms. Demons, the defendant was your boyfriend for a while. He's not your boyfriend anymore. And the two of you are squabbling at this point in your lives over a little bit of money. So I'm going to make very short shrift of this. And then I'm going to let you get on with your lives. How old are you?
22.
And you?
25.
It's your claim that he owes you some money for a trip you took together when you were still dating. He says he paid you for that trip, and he says you owe him money for rent. Right?
Right.
How long ago were you dating?
We dated from February to July.
And when was this trip that you took?
We took it in the beginning of April.
Where?
To Batavia, New York to see some of his friends.
And what was your arrangement?
The agreement was that we would put the charges on my credit card and he would pay me back the money for the charges. And his friends, because he knew them and everything, also gave us the hotel for a half price.
Were you living together in April?
No, we were not.
Is that right, sir?
No. Well, in the beginning it wasn't, but when I got the place, she moved in with me.
Were you living together in April or not?
No.
I'm going to keep this simple. So you weren't living together, and you wanted to go away for a weekend.
Yeah.
You didn't have money?
No, we both wanted to go away, not just me. And it wasn't just to go see my friends. It was to go to Niagara Falls.
Did you go to the falls?
Yeah.
Had you ever seen them before?
No.
And you?
I had seen them before.
You wanted to see them together?
Yes.
How much did it cost you?
A total of $220.85.
How much did you give her?
I gave her $150 in the end of June in cash.
Did he give you money?
I never received cash from him.
When I sold a truck, I gave her cash.
That was not for the trip.
Just a second. So you did receive cash from him?
Yes,
at
but
the end of June?
It was not for the trip.
What was it for?
I had I got conjunctivitis. I work with kids, and I missed a month of work, and I was falling behind in my bills, and I was going to ask my father for help. Tony offered to give me a little bit of money towards some of my bills that are my regular bills. It had nothing to do with this trip. And he gave me that amount, and I went and I had asked my father for the remaining amount to pay my bills.
All right, so he gave you $150?
Yes.
Get over it. Now, you want me to deal with you and the rent you say she owes you? I'm listening.
Well, when she moved in, when I got a place,
When did she move in?
beginning of, well, in the middle of May. She stayed with me until July 4th, and I kicked
What
her
happened
out.
July 4th?
I had a problem with her, so I kicked her out.
What kind of problem did you have?
A friend of mine caught her in someone's vehicle.
Okay, so you
when
thought
she told me she was with
you
somebody
thought
else.
she was with somebody else.
She was with somebody else when she was supposed to be at her father's.
And what arrangement did you have in May when she moved in, sir?
You know, I really didn't have an arrangement with her. I'm only kind of suing because she's suing me.
So you really don't have a claim against her?
Not really, no.
Perfect, I love it. Easy. So your counterclaim is dismissed, right?
Okay.
Or you're withdrawing it because you really don't have a case. You just...
Well, I have no proof that...
It was nuisance. No, you just said to me you had no arrangement with her for rent.
No, I didn't.
Good,
Because I
so
told
then
her
you
don't
have
worry
no-
about anything.
So then you had no claim. And I find that you did give her $150 because now she acknowledges that, which is enough to cover your share of the expenses for the trip to Niagara Falls. So your claim is dismissed. Goodbye, have a happy life, get over it, don't bother me.
On the matter of Clark versus Morgan, parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Miss Clark, it is your claim that the defendant came to your home. She came with other relatives of hers. She damaged your home and assaulted you. And this was all over an incident that involved your husband, who I see is not present today. Ms. Morgan says she was very angry with your husband because he had sexually abused a cousin of hers, and she did in fact come to the house, but she neither damaged the house nor did she assault you. How do you know each other?
My husband and her boyfriend are childhood friends.
When did this sexual assault allegedly take place, Miss Morgan?
In July of 2003.
Where did it allegedly take place?
At my house.
And what was Miss Clark's husband doing at your house?
He was originally at the bar with my ex. She came into the bar, took his keys from him because he was there. He called my house, didn't have anywhere to go, so my ex went and picked him up and let him come spend the night at our house because they were fighting.
And how old is this cousin of yours who was...
13.
Now, I gather that that case has been resolved. Is that right?
He's in jail for it now.
And he pled guilty to assault.
Sexual assault.
Sexual assault? Mm-hmm. How long is your husband incarcerated?
He's incarcerated for another year.
How long has he been incarcerated?
A year.
I don't know how that...
Do you have a different...
Yes.
Go ahead.
He took the plea bargain. They gave him, I forget how many years it was, but he has to stay in jail for 10 years because part of his plea bargain was to waive his right to all appeals and modifications.
And this happened July what?
I believe it was around the 26th.
So on the 26th, you were advised by your 13-year-old cousin that this assault had taken place?
Yes.
Who went over to the plaintiff's house?
Me, my sister, her husband, and my ex.
Why did you go over there?
Because we were mad.
That the way you respond?
No, we didn't go over there to do anything to her. In fact, when we arrived to the house, I am the one who knocked on the door, and I asked for her because I felt sorry for her. I really did. I mean, how can you tell somebody your husband just raped my 13-year-old cousin? She came to the door, then he came to the door. When he came to the door, he stepped outside. He was a nervous wreck. He was like this. He knew what we were there for. As soon as he steps outside, my sister's husband went after him. They fought on the sidewalk. She comes outside.
Just a second. That is a mistake. You understand that. That was the wrong thing to happen.
Right, I know that, but I didn't do it. I didn't.
Miss Morgan, listen to me. What did you go there for?
To confront him for my 13-year-old cousin.
All right, Miss Clark, let me hear you. What happened when she arrived there?
When her and her family members arrived, they were beating down the door. My daughter here and my husband were on their way down the steps to find out what the heck was going on, because it was throughout the neighborhood you could hear them screaming obscenities and everything. Just as Brandy went to open the door, it came open. I mean, they just piled in. In the process of Dion being behind Brandy, she got hurt the worst. They were dragging him out of the house and throwing him everywhere, beating and punching him. And when I came out the house, Jennifer came at me with a broken, rusty rake, and she threw it. She went and shoved it in my stomach, and I fell against steps. And Brandy went after her, and another girl went after her. And
You are amazing.
It was
You are
no way.
amazing.
Miss Morgan, say nothing until it's your turn. Do you understand? Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We were just outnumbered. We just had to just go in the house. My other daughter called the police because it was horrible. It was like a rumble, tumble, everything. And they were.
You have any photographs of your house?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see them, please. Tell me about your injuries.
Well, I didn't really have too many injuries because I just fell into the steps, but my husband was really beat up.
Well, I'm not here to discuss your husband. And while I absolutely abhor what happened that day, and I'm not talking about the night before, I'm talking about that day and Miss Morgan and her family and friends coming to your house, which I think is wholly inappropriate. Uncross your hands. Your husband's injuries are your husband's injuries. My question to you, Miss Clark, is, it is clear to me that Miss Morgan was not alone. This young lady was with her, according to her, as well as 2 other men. Why didn't you sue them?
I didn't even know who they were, and that lady right there wasn't present.
I wasn't present?
No, she wasn't present.
Okay. Step up. You were there?
Yeah.
Good. What's your name?
Sarah Weiser.
When you grow up, your top is going to fit your pants so that it all comes together. When you come to court, we don't do that. You're supposed to come to court looking like you're coming to court. You were there that day? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh, is not an answer.
Yes.
That's better. What did you go there for?
To confront her husband.
Why? That's what the police are for.
Because he raped our 13-year-old cousin.
That's what the police are for.
And we called the police.
Before you went over or after? It's not an answer.
Same time.
What do you mean the same time? What does that mean, the same time?
We called her mother. Her mother called the police while we were in pursuit to her house.
What do you do what do you do for a living? I'm speaking. What do you do for a living?
Daycare.
You do what?
Daycare.
For children?
Yes. I have 4 children.
How old are you?
28.
28, 4 children. Do your 4 children all have the same father?
No.
How many different fathers do your 4 children have?
2.
Do any of them live with you?
Any of my children's fathers?
Yes.
Yes.
Which ones?
The one that came to her house.
I thought you said he was your ex.
He is my ex, but we still live together.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You had no right to terrorize her, and you had no right to terrorize her daughter.
They were not touched.
I said terrorize, you idiot!
And later today,
the dog was not outside. Immediately I said to my son, we need to go to the dog shelter. A woman walked out and she said, I am so sorry to tell you this, but at the same time that you walked in, we were euthanizing your animal.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Ramona Clark says family acquaintance Jennifer Morgan owes for damage to her home and for an assault. Jennifer says Ramona's husband sexually assaulted her 13-year-old cousin.
Let me explain something to you, Miss Morgan. You had absolutely no right, either with or without Miss Bear Midriff over here, to go to her house that day with either alone or with anybody else. You had no right to terrorize her, and you had no right to terrorize her daughter.
They were not touched. They were not touched.
I said terrorize, you idiot!
This originally started as a criminal case. She filed charges against me. The state dropped them.
Let me tell you something, madam. The state where you reside may decide that whatever actions you did that day were motivated by female testosterone that was running in your blood and by the testosterone of the two idiot males that you were with. But in this country, we don't do what you did. Because according to what you told me when you started, this lady came to a bar where her husband was. He was drunk. She took the car keys away so that he wouldn't drive, so that he couldn't hurt himself or hurt somebody else. So she doesn't sound like she is a lunatic. It sounds like she was trying to do the responsible thing. Your ex, genius that he is, said, come and sleep in my house. So he brought him back to the house, and somebody wasn't minding the store at your house. Because if you have a drunk man staying in your house, it seems to me you watch him very, very carefully. You certainly don't respond to that kind of action, the kind of action that he committed, by going to his house and terrorizing his family. Idiot. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,500. That's all. Out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It's a shame that the vicious nature of some people can destroy the lives of others.
I hope it gave her a reason to really want to stick by her husband, who's in jail for 10 years.
There was no DNA evidence.
It was 1 in 500 quintillion that it was him.
It's crazy. All kind of stuff going through my head, wondering if the accusations are true.
It was up to us to bust it for what he did, and that's what we did.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Allen versus Caldwell. Step forward, please.
Nurse Karen Allen is suing her former pet sitter, 21-year-old ER clerk Tiffany Caldwell, for rent and for the cost of a Welsh Corgi. Karen says while she was away, her dog was euthanized.
Miss Allen, according to your complaint, you hired Miss Caldwell to house and dog sit for you. You were going to be gone for several months, and you had to leave your dog at home. The arrangement was that she would stay in your house for how many months?
It was going to be from March of 2004 until August of 2004.
Unfortunately, when you came home in August, you found that your dog had been euthanized.
Yes, ma'am.
And your house trashed.
Yes, ma'am.
And you want Miss Caldwell to now pay you for rent and for your dog.
Yes,
I don't know how you set a price on that. What kind of dog did you have?
I had an AKC registered Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
How long had you had the dog?
Approximately about 1.5 years.
Boy or a girl?
A male.
Where is your home?
In Knoxville, Tennessee.
And where were you going for 5 months?
I was going to work as a travel nurse in Newark, New Jersey.
Is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
He was going with you?
No, he stayed with his father during the 5 months.
And where does his father live?
In Morristown, Tennessee, about 40 miles away from Knoxville.
How did you find Miss Caldwell?
A common friend of ours that we both share suggested her, said that she was looking for something, and she worked for the same hospital system I worked at in Knoxville, and it's a very choosy hospital system, so I felt that, you know, they've checked her out, and they've checked me out, so we should probably be a pretty good fit. We met and talked, and she agreed to watch my dog and live in the house while I was gone.
Is that correct so far, Miss Caldwell?
Yes, ma'am.
So she moved into the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you check on the house and the defendant during the 5 months that she was there?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I was home 2 or 3 times to take Matthew to hockey events. I would fly in for the weekend, stop by the house, check on the dog. Everything seemed fine. And I would call her frequently. So it was phone tag sometimes, but I would always get a message back, everything was fine. In July, I did call to check on my dog, and she told me that mosquitoes were bad in the area and that he had a few mosquito bites, but he was fine.
You remember that conversation in July?
Actually, it was flies, and she said that it had happened yearly, that his ears would get irritated from where the flies would bother him when he would stay outside.
Why was he staying outside?
The agreement between her and I was, since I worked at the time 10-hour shifts, and she had worked 12 when she lived there, that the dog would, of course, stay outside because couldn't leave him inside that long. And there was a lead that he was attached to. He had a house, he had food, he had water. When I was home, he was in the house with me. When I was at work, he was out in the yard.
When would you leave for work?
It differed. Sometimes I'd work morning shift, sometimes I'd work graveyard shift, evening shift.
You mean when you worked the night shift, you would leave the dog outside all night?
Yeah, that's when he would stay outside nightly.
Was that your agreement with her?
He was not supposed to be outside all night. He was crate trained. He had a nice large roomy crate in the house, and a lot of times, even when I was at work, if I felt the weather was not acceptable and it wouldn't be good for him to be outside, he wouldn't go outside.
Were you sleeping at the house every night?
For the first month or so that I had moved in, I did, and then I got a phone call from Karen telling me that the landlord had told her that he wasn't happy with the fact that someone else was staying there, because I had occasionally had a friend that I worked with stay with me, and he apparently wasn't happy about any of the situation.
Well, he wasn't unhappy with you staying in the house, just with a friend.
Well, the conversation was it was a general, he wasn't happy about any of the situation. He didn't like it. He apparently wasn't happy with Karen being away and somebody else being in the house at all.
Miss Caldwell.
Karen Allen says her former pet sitter, Tiffany Caldwell, owes for trashing her house and causing her Welsh Corgi to be euthanized.
The boy that you had staying at the house, was this your boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
I made it very specific that I didn't want any strangers in my house, Your Honor.
Right. Don't give me baloney. Did the landlord complain to you that there was this guy in the house?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
And did you tell her that?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
So you told her not to have the guy in the house?
Correct.
Right. That's different than you not staying in the house. That just says tell your boyfriend not to stay there. There's a difference, Miss Caldwell. So if she told you the boyfriend couldn't stay there, you decided to stay at his place? Is not an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you did?
Sometimes.
Okay. So when you stayed there sometimes, that means that you went to work. And when you say you went to work, you left the dog outside. And then when you went to your boyfriend's house, where did you leave the dog?
The dog would stay out.
So that the dog would be out sometimes for 24 hours at a time?
Sometimes, yes, ma'am.
That's irresponsible, Miss Caldwell. Very irresponsible. When you make an arrangement with somebody and you find yourself a boyfriend, then you call her up and you say, listen, I can't keep that part of the bargain because I now have a boyfriend. And it's very important that I sleep with him. Because if I don't sleep with him, I'll die. So you're going to have to find somebody else to take care of the dog. You don't just disregard your responsibility and allow the dog to stay outside for 24 hours at a time. We understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
You think I'm right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think you did the wrong thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Because that's not what your answer says. I read your answer and you said she told me I couldn't stay there. I said, gee, that doesn't make sense. Here's a woman who hires you to stay in her house. Why would she tell you you couldn't stay there? She didn't tell you you couldn't stay there. She said your boyfriend couldn't stay there. When you got home in August, what did you find, Miss Allen?
We arrived home on August the 13th, Matthew and I. We drove into our driveway, and the dog was not outside. It was a very hot day, and so I thought, well, maybe she had placed the dog inside. But somehow I had this sinking feeling that moms have in their stomach. We got into the house, called for the dog. There was no dog. There was a horrible stench in the house where garbage had been piled up, dirty dishes with water that had like 1/4 of an inch of mold on the top layer of the water. Immediately I said to my son Matthew, I said, we need to go to the dog shelter. We got in the car and went to the shelter, which is 1 mile from my home, and walked in and asked if anybody had turned in a Welsh Corgi. A young man had said, we received a Corgi. What kind is it? I told him it was a Pembroke. He asked me if it was tricolored. I told him yes. He says, I think we have your dog. And of course I was ecstatic. We get back into the back. They couldn't find the dog. They asked me to wait in reception. About 10 or 15 minutes later, a woman walked out who was the manager. She was visibly upset, and she said, I am so sorry to tell you this, but at the same time that you walked in, we were euthanizing your animal, we believe. They asked if we wanted to see the body and identify it, and I said yes. I had to know. Matthew preceded me down the hall and went into her office where they had laid the dog. And he started crying, and right away we knew that it was the dog. And my last vision of this animal is him curled up on the floor with his dog.
How did the dog get to the shelter?
I'm not exactly sure. I know on the evening of the 7th, the morning of the 8th, I was working. I got off at around 1:45, 2 a.m. I had went to the house to feed the dog, and of course I was going to stay there that night. And I pulled into the driveway, but the dog didn't run up to the car. So I looked around and couldn't find him.
So you don't know what happened to the dog. The dog got out somehow.
Right.
And what about the mess that was left in the house?
There was
not an answer.
There was dirty dishes in the house.
Why?
I left because I was upset. The dog wasn't there. I couldn't find him. I couldn't get.
You left the dishes earlier. You left the dishes early. You didn't leave the dishes then. You left the mess in the house before. Why?
There's no excuse.
Where are you living now?
I'm living in an apartment.
And how much rent do you pay?
$360 a month.
$360
Yes,
times 5. That's $1,800. You had a bartering agreement with her. Your agreement with her was that in exchange for watching the dog and taking care of the house, you could live in her home rent-free. You didn't live up to your end of the agreement. So you have to pay her rent. Right? Sounds right to me. That's $1,800. Now, you can't put a price on your dog, but there has to be some statement to this young lady that she can't take that kind of responsibility and just cast it out the window because she finds herself a boyfriend. Right? I will put a price on it for the purposes of this litigation. The price that I'm putting on is $2,000. Judgment for the plaintiff for the amount of $3,800. $1,800 for rent and $2,000 because she didn't take care of her responsibility. That's all.
All right, Ms. Sworn in, Judge, you may be seated. folks have a seat.
Mr. Lane, Miss Thomas was a tenant of yours,
Yes, that's correct.
and it is your claim that she owes you for rent certain property that she took from the apartment or house that she had rented when she ultimately moved out, and that she also owes you for filing false charges against you in her application for a protective order. You claim that Miss Thomas and her family are professional squatters.
Yes, I do.
Which means that they go into people's homes, they rent them, they pay rent for a while, and they stop paying, and since it takes very often 6 months to a year to get them out, they don't pay rent, and they go from place to place, and that's a scam.
It is a scam.
And you're prepared to demonstrate to me that Miss Thomas and her family have a history of doing the same kind of thing to other landlords.
Yes, I do.
And I'd be interested to hear about that. In any event, when did you rent? Is it an apartment or a house?
It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, upper middle income with a
When?
pool. February, I rented her the home. She signed a lease on February 27th.
Of
She moved in
2004?
on 2004. She moved in on March 15th, 2004.
Who moved in?
Valina Thomas, and the premises were leased to her and her daughter. In addition to her moving in, she moved her brother in.
No, just a second. Who signed the lease?
Valina Thomas and Thomas.
Is that your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
How much was the rent, Mr. Lane?
I asked for first, last, and the security deposit, $1,250, Your Honor. $1,250.
I'm going to ask the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to give me the answers. If I need for you to expand, you're going to do that
Thank you.
for me. $1,250 a month.
$1,250 a month.
And they gave you first, last, and security.
That's correct.
Okay, so they paid for March, and it was a year lease?
The check for March, Your Honor, was
No, was it a
dishonored.
year lease?
It is a year lease, yes, Your Honor.
The check for March was what, sir?
The check for March was dishonored by the bank. She alleged that a girlfriend had given her a $569 check.
Okay, so the
But
check for March was bounced.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she ever pay March rent?
She did, Your Honor.
Okay, when did she pay March rent?
She paid March rent prior to April 15th.
And she paid April's rent?
She did pay April's rent, Your Honor.
And what about May?
She did not pay May's, June's, or July's.
Did she and her husband and the rest of the people that she moved into the house, did they live there May, June, and July?
Yes, they did, Your Honor. They lived there through August.
Through August?
Well, actually, they had abandoned the property, and I lived out of state, and I repossessed the property with a writ of possession on July 29th.
I just want to know,
Yes, ma'am.
when was the last time they lived in the house?
I wouldn't know. I didn't come back to the property until August the 7th.
Okay, when was the last time you lived in the house, Miss Thomas?
July 31st.
Fine. Can I see your rent receipt from May?
Did not pay the rent from May till June. Did
Why?
not.
You lived there in May.
Yes, ma'am. The rent was due on the 15th of every month.
Right.
I paid April's rent from April 15th to May 15th.
Right.
We notified Mr. Lane that my husband's job was transferring him. First, we notified Mr. Brown when we paid April's rent that my husband's job was transferring him to Sarasota, Florida, which is 2 hours away from where we were living. He said, just let me know the date when you're going to be moving. Told Mr. Lane called. He said, I'll tell you what. He says, you paid half of May's rent, and I will return your security deposit if you're out before June the 15th. However, when I asked for a letter stating the fact, everything changed. He sent me a 3-day notice to vacate. Then he sent me another 3-day notice from a realtor company.
So what?
A month later.
So what? A month later, you were supposed to be out. Why weren't you out in June?
Because he didn't follow his agreement either.
Why weren't you out in June?
Because our house wasn't ready that we were moving to. And
then why didn't you pay rent?
We told him we were moving, and he said that...
Just a second, I don't understand something. Just a minute. Miss Thomas, if what you're telling me is that you moved, and that's why you didn't pay rent, that's fine. What you're telling me now is that you told him you were moving, but you didn't move because your house wasn't ready, and you didn't pay rent. Just a second.
Okay.
Let's get to objective facts.
Okay.
Miss Thomas.
Okay.
Who is this?
This is my daughter, Heather.
All right. Is she a witness?
Yes, she is.
Fine. Then, unfortunately, she has to stay here.
That's fine.
If you live in an apartment or a house that doesn't belong to you, pursuant to a lease, if you live there, you have to pay rent.
I agree.
I don't want to hear any baloney about why you didn't pay rent.
I never said I didn't know it. I owe him for May and June.
Oh, well, that's not what you're saying here.
I have it.
Just a second. I don't see in here that that's what you say, that you owe him for May and June. Let me see. In June, we could no longer afford the premises. That's what you wrote in your answer. That's what you swore to. Mm-hmm. And also, we found out that my husband was being transferred in the latter part of July.
Yes, ma'am.
What does that have to do with May and stop playing with your papers? So that has nothing to do with May and June's rent.
I agree. I mean, we owe May. We owe May and June.
Let's move on. We informed the plaintiff that we would be moving, and Mr. Lane was not very happy. He said that if we paid half of May's rent, he would refund our deposit when we moved. However, the money we had given him when we moved in was enough to cover up our rent until July, so we weren't going to pay him anymore. You got a whole bunch of excuses here, and you can't seem to keep your story straight. You lived there in May, you lived there in June, you lived there in July, and you didn't pay rent. Nowhere in your answer do you say, well, I do owe him for May and June.
I've always said I owed him, even in the court doc.
Would you do me a favor, please, Bird? Would you show this answer, this sworn answer that she signed to her, and ask her, maybe I missed it, you know, I don't know how I scored in reading. Show me in your answer where you say you acknowledge that you owe him for 2 months' rent.
I never acknowledged that I owed him for 2 months' rent.
Until now. Oh, fine. Fine, then we get it now. Now you owe him for 2 months' rent.
Well, I also acknowledged when we went to Brevard County Courthouse that I owed him for 2 months' rent.
Just a second. I'm not talking about any place else that you went when he tried to get you evicted. I'm talking about small claims court, which is where you are. So you forgot to put that down in your answer that you owe him for 2 months' rent.
Okay.
Is that right? You forgot.
Yes,
fine. You owe him for 2 months' rent.
Yes,
so your rent was $1,250 times 2 is $2,500. So that you owe him. That you acknowledge you owe him.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You've got to pay your bills, madam. If you don't pay your bills, bad things happen. They turn off your lights, they turn off your water, they turn off your electricity. That's what happens when you don't pay your bills.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Larry Lane says ex-tenant Kay Thomas owes for 3 months' rent. Larry says Kay is a squatter.
Now, when did you start eviction proceedings against her?
I attempted to start eviction proceedings in May.
So you already knew that this was a lost cause with these people?
I didn't believe it was a lost cause, Your Honor.
Well, then why would you choose to evict them?
I put a 3-day notice on her door precautionarily.
Sir, they owe you $2,500 for the 2 months' rent.
What about July, Your Honor?
Shh. Just a minute.
Okay.
Now, did you get first month's rent and last month's rent?
I did, Your Honor.
Just a second. Listen to me. The last month's rent would have been July. Is that right, Mr. Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the security deposit?
Well, Your Honor, there was extensive damage to my home and legal fees.
How much were your legal fees?
$691.
Okay. And what kind of damage was done to the home?
Well, Your Honor, the screens on all windows were damaged. All the blinds were damaged.
Do you have any photographs?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
I'd like to see them, please.
I also have receipts for blinds.
How did these windows get broken?
Can I see those pictures? I haven't seen them.
Sure.
Thank you. Your Honor, I have pictures also.
I'd like to see them.
Before we moved in and the day we moved out. Would you like to see those?
I would.
These are the 2 screens that he's claiming on the kitchen. That's the 31st. You can see that those are not broke. Living room blind, kitchen, and the other one that we admitted to. These are the 2 that we admitted to as far as the blinds go. The dates are on them, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so I have broken blinds.
And can I clarify something really quick? He said that me, my husband, and my daughter moved into the house. I have 2 daughters, and he met them both. He also came 2 days before he left for Bay City, Michigan. He came to my house, my last residency, unannounced, but he came.
You mean the new place?
The old place. Prior to moving to his residency, I lived in Cocoa Beach, and he came to my residency 2 days before I signed the lease with him.
Yeah.
He's talking about me moving my brother and my sister-in-law in. He met them. He knew them. He knew they were going to be staying there with us for a month or so till they found their own place.
Mr. Lane?
Yes, ma'am.
Defendant acknowledges at this juncture that she owes you 2 months' rent. I would take that and be happy.
What about the furniture she stole?
Now let's get to the furniture.
All right.
Show me pictures of the furniture.
I can't. I can only show you receipts, Your Honor, because
What furniture did you take, Miss Thomas? You indicate that you took some stuff from the house.
I didn't take anything. I sold it.
You sold it?
Yes, ma'am. I have receipts to that, where I sold it to and how much I sold it for.
Let me see it.
The last 2 pages.
Ms. Thomas, why would you sell property that didn't belong to you?
I sold the dining room set and the bedroom set.
Why,
Actually,
why would you sell property that didn't belong to you?
We had an agreement in the lease for me to purchase it.
You mean you purchased it? Did you purchase it?
No, we did not pay it in full. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Okay. So you had a provision in the lease if you wanted to purchase it, but you didn't purchase it, and yet you sold it.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you can't do that.
I understand that. I did it out of anger because of what he done. He tried to have my electricity cut off.
Your Honor, I have a subpoena from Florida Power and Light showing that I didn't turn her power off.
You tried.
But not only had she given him a false security number to get her power, she bounced checks on him, and that the power was turned off. And here it is, Your Honor,
Can I see it, please?
Along with the subpoena.
Fine.
She also gave him a false address where she was moving to send the final bill. I corrected it for Florida Power and Light so they can collect from this deadbeat.
Shh. You owe money?
Yes, I'm paying them $75 a month. Yes, ma'am.
For money that you owe them?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you got to pay your bills, madam. If you don't pay your bills, bad things happen. They turn off your lights, they turn off your water, they turn off your electricity. That's what happens when you don't pay your bills. Listen, you can't sell property that doesn't belong to you.
That.
You didn't pay your electric bill. That's why you're paying $75 to make up what you owe them.
Your Honor, her lights were turned off June 26th. Okay.
Not interested in that. How much is this stuff worth, sir? Dining room table with a hutch, a wicker bedroom set.
King-size bed.
King-size bed?
Armoire.
How much did she agree to pay in the lease for the things that she sold?
She was going to pay $50 a month, but never consummated that.
No. Mr. Lane.
She was going to pay $50 a month and the balance on conclusion of the lease.
Okay,
the lease agreement
$50 a month.
Paragraph 22,
times
page
12 is $600.
Yes, Your Honor.
And the balance upon the termination of the lease, what was the furniture sold for, Mr. Lane?
The furniture was sold for $1,250.
$1,250 in total.
Yes,
is that right?
Your Honor. Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Then that's what you owe him.
I understand that. Never said I didn't owe him for it.
Yes, you did. Show her the answer. She said the stuff he left in the house was a bunch of junk.
I was referring to
just a second.
I was referring to the refrigerator.
Show me in here where
It's
you
not in
acknowledge that you owe him money for the furniture that you sold.
It's not in there, ma'am.
Right. It's not in there.
I was referring to the refrigerator.
Mr. Lane,
yes, ma'am.
I would like you to give me whatever proof you have that the Thomas family are squatters and scammers.
Please.
So far, I would tend to agree with you.
Your Honor, I did a background investigation, and I should have done this prior to it, but my grandson was in a hospital. This shows that she was evicted. This is a background investigation from the internet that shows 6 bad checks and cable fraud.
You got anything else?
Yes, I do. She currently is in Bradenton, Florida, in a diversion program for first-time offenders for bad checks. And I don't know about anything else, Your Honor. I just knew
Is that all
this...
correct? Are you
The bad checks, yeah, a bad check, yes, ma'am. It was the first-time offender where I wrote a bad check, yes, ma'am.
It was the first time you got caught.
No. No, it's
It was the first time you got caught.
Your Honor, this account...
I don't understand you, Miss Thomas. I don't understand why you believe. How old are you?
19.
May I?
Well, you know, she's not a baby, so she can be here.
Your Honor,
Listen.
this account was written on a closed account, which she alleged somebody had given her a check.
You already gave him a bad check.
May I see
Come on.
that
Closed
account?
account.
May I see that account, please? Yes, ma'am. And I took care of it. As soon as he told me that it had not been paid, I went and gave him the money. Took care of it.
Okay.
Took it out of the
Can I
account.
see it?
So
Your
it
Honor,
wasn't
she
that
told
he...
me that the check had bounced and yes, ma'am.
Mr. Lane,
Yes,
how long
ma'am.
have you been a landlord?
This was the first time I rented a piece of property, and I must have had stupid written right across my forehead.
That's true.
I understand. Your Honor, I have one other thing I'd like to say briefly.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, there was property in my garage, and when I reported my furniture missing to the police, they said it was a civil matter. They couldn't do anything. But the property that I had in my garage was a side-by-side refrigerator, a Craftsman lawnmower, and a power edger. She disposed of that equipment. I went back down to the police department. They sent me out to her house to inspect again to see if the property was moved indoors or in the backyard. And as I tried to go in, she had me arrested for battery.
He was not arrested, Your Honor. He was never charged.
She filed charges.
I have... police reports.
Did you get your refrigerator back?
No. And the
you
other
get your-
landlord,
You didn't get it back. Did you get anything back that was in the garage?
no, I didn't get anything back.
Where's
Not
the
even
stuff?
the keys to the house.
Where's the stuff? I'm not talking about the keys. Where's the stuff?
Can I explain what led up to that?
I just asked you where the stuff is.
It's gone.
What do you mean it's
Mr.
gone?
Brown.
It went to the refrigerator ferry. Where did it go?
We got ready. The junk guy got it because it was no good. The gasket on it was broke. It wasn't keeping the air in. It was leaking water. He left it. He did not want it.
Just a second. When did you get rid of it?
July the 8th.
Well, if it was bothering you, why didn't you get rid of it when you first moved in instead of July the 8th?
We were in the process of cleaning out the house, getting everything done. We had talked to Mr. Brown. He said he was given to you, whatever. Mr. Lane didn't want it. Do whatever you wanted to do with it.
Did you say that, Tara?
No, ma'am.
We
Of
even
course
cleaned
not.
it out.
Of course not. Well, what you're supposed to do is
also-
I'm speaking.
Yes,
What you're supposed to do is stop making excuses.
I'm not making excuses,
Well,
Your
you
Honor.
did. You made excuses. You made excuses to
But
me.
he's saying I destroyed his house. He inspected the house on
I'm
July
not
the 21st.
talking about the inspection of the house. I'm talking about several things. I'm talking about the rent that you owed him.
I agree.
For $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking about the furniture that you agreed to buy, which you didn't buy, which you sold.
Yes, ma'am.
So you owe him $1,250. I'm talking about the merchandise that was in the garage that you disposed of the same month that you moved out. The same month that you moved out. You didn't say to me, listen, he had all this junk in the garage and I was paying for the garage, so when we moved in, I got some junk guy to come over and get rid of it. You disposed of it the same month that you were moving. Ms. Thomas, you did the wrong thing. And what you're supposed to do, put that down. What you're supposed to do when you do the wrong thing, especially if you have a child here, is you're supposed to say, I did the wrong thing.
I did. I meant I did that.
Well, you didn't admit it to me in the answer. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Versus Mora. Has been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Everybody have seats.
Mr. Herzig, you were retained by Mr. and Mrs. Mora, according to your complaint,
Yes,
to
ma'am.
be the DJ at their son's bar mitzvah.
Correct.
They gave you a $500 deposit,
Correct.
the balance due of $650. According to your complaint, you went to the bar mitzvah, you performed your service, the Moras gave you a check for $650,
Correct.
and then they stopped payment on the check.
Yes, ma'am.
You want your money.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Mora say that your services were not up to standard, that they feel as if they didn't get what they had contracted for, that you ruined their son's bar mitzvah. In addition to ruining their son's bar mitzvah, you slandered and defamed them by writing letters to the temple, by walking around with placards outside. I don't know what you said. And they're suing you for a refund of their $500 deposit, as well as another $4,500 for their aggravation.
Correct.
Okay. Where was the bar mitzvah?
Desert Shores Community Center, the same location that my young witness had his bar mitzvah.
Okay. And how many people did you have at the bar mitzvah?
Approximately 100.
When did you retain Mr. Herzig?
Approximately 2 months before,
Okay.
2 to 3 months before the event.
Do you have the contract?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd
It
like to
was
see it,
actually December 16th, 2004.
And when was the bar mitzvah?
January 30th, 2005.
Okay. Would you show this to Mr. and Mrs. Moore and ask them whether they recognize signature on that and whose signature it was on the contract?
Yep, I have the same one in my...
Yes.
Okay, so that's the contract.
Yes.
No. And you showed up?
Absolutely. Ready to do a job.
Showed up, and how many hours were you there?
I arrived at 4 o'clock p.m. Set up time from 4 o'clock to 5:30. At 5:30, start music.
And when did you finish?
9:30.
Between 5:30 and 9:30, did anyone approach you and indicate that they were dissatisfied with what was going on?
Ms. Moore came up and said, I'm unhappy the music being played right now. It was during the dinner time. And I said, no problem. We'll promptly change it, which we did.
So other than that one time that Mrs. Mora came up to you during the course of the evening, did either of them come up and say that there was anything wrong with what you were doing?
Later on at about 8:40, maybe 9 o'clock, Ms. Mora came up and asked, she had given me originally that evening 4 additional notes to perform and to say, as I remember, something about one of them being guest had graduated from college. But there were a couple, how about those announcements? And I said, we've already made the announcements. I didn't know if she was in the room.
Can I add to that?
I'm going to get to you in a second. Okay. When did you get your check for $650?
After we put the equipment back into the van, we sat down at the table with Ms. Moore, and we requested our check, and we started just kibitzing a little about the evening, and that was it.
She gave you the check?
Yes, ma'am. Wrote the check right then and there.
Did she say at that point anything to you about your service that evening?
Word zero, which meant...
Okay. Don't tell me what he's going to tell me.
Okay.
You say word zero.
Word zero.
Okay, who's going to speak?
I'd like to say.
Okay.
Okay. When I originally hired Alan to be my DJ, I had interviewed a few DJs. And one mentioned that he was going to have a disco ball for lighting, which, you know, I would like for my son to have something special. And he said, oh, that's outdated. I have sophisticating lighting. I have speakers with that blink, and I have, you know, and I was excited because I thought, wow, I'm going to have that. That was not at the party. That's what initially, after I watched the tape of the bar mitzvah, or it was even before then, I said to my husband, was there lighting? And there was no lighting. The montage that he made for me, that he was professionally supposed to do.
I don't know what, could you stop hitting the table?
I'm sorry.
At the table.
The montage of...
A video montage that he supplied a projection screen that he told me he was going to add magic to. I scanned all the pictures at home on my computer and handed him a disc. He just added music to it, and he told me he was going to spin the pictures and do his magic to my pictures. And I have a copy of that here that I'd like you to see. That within the first 4 pictures, there was a slag in between the pictures. As a professional, after making a tape of this sort, he should have viewed it before he showed it to my guests. There was a slag, and everybody thought the tape was over after the first 4 pictures.
The sound system was inadequate. We had music cues for people as they were to come out and be introduced that never went off. We didn't know he was going to have a 12-year-old child as his DJ, training him at our bar mitzvah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He said he would bring an assistant. We didn't know it would be a young child that he would be given on-the-job training during our affair.
He trained his son throughout the... I have it on tape also.
That was quite embarrassing for us, and our guests couldn't believe it. We had certain music that he left at home.
My father was an entertainer who had passed, and I wanted my family to hear my father's music while we're eating. I brought the tape. He didn't even bring it to the bar mitzvah. He had to call his wife to bring the tape to the bar mitzvah.
Did she bring it?
She brought it, but it was stressful to me.
Now you've told me the story.
Some of it.
Shh. Now you've told me the story, and now I'd like to know why you gave him a check for $650 at the end of the evening.
My husband wrote
First of all, he's not telling the truth. I'm the one that gave him the check, not my wife.
I don't care who gave him the check. You gave him the check.
He came over. He said, it's time to settle up. We still had guests around. I didn't want to cause a scene. It was a very big day, a lot of excitement. Took out my checkbook. I wrote him the check just to get it over with. And we went home and discussed it, and we got several complaints from guests. People called us, they emailed us, they told us the next day or two how awful things were.
I want to see those emails. Just a second, listen to me very carefully, Mr. Mora. I want to see the emails from your guests telling you how awful the bar mitzvah was.
I have.
Okay.
I'd like to see them.
Okay.
You have those letters?
Those are some letters, but I want her to read this.
I want to see a letter.
I'll give it to them.
I just want to see an email. Oh, this is terrible. This is not what I want.
Okay.
This is not what I want. And this is not what I want. And this is not what I want. Did you understand English? English is, I want to see emails that your guests sent to you the day after the bar mitzvah telling you how horrible the bar mitzvah was. These are letters.
Okay.
These are letters 6 months later that you solicited from people saying, I was present at the Mora bar mitzvah and would like to make some comments about what I observed.
Well, she just printed it out that day.
Listen to me, madam. On your best day, you're not as smart as I am on my worst day.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Tell me one Bubba Mice, I find everything else that you say suspect. So that's a grandma story.
Oh, I know the Bubba Mice.
That's a Bubba Mice, a grandma story. It means it's an untruth.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Alan Herzig says former client Bonnie Moore owes for his DJ services. Bonnie claims Alan did a poor job. She is countersuing for defamation of character.
What I want to see is a guest at a bar mitzvah, because I've been to more bar mitzvahs in my day than you have, and I've made more.
Okay.
I have never had a guest that wrote me a letter or sent me an email telling me how horrible the function was because of the DJ. So when you said to me, I got emails the next day telling me how horrible the function was,
I didn't say
that's not true. That's not true.
Don't argue with him.
No guest at a Jewish bar mitzvah tells their host and hostess what a terrible time they had. Now, solicited, you can get letters from people telling you that they thought that the DJ was awful. Call a guest and say, I'm going to court, and I want you to tell me, or I'm having a discussion or a dispute with it. Put your hand down. You tell me one Bubba Misa. You know what that means?
Yes.
Good. You tell me one Bubba Misa, I find everything else that you say suspect. So that's a grandma story.
Oh, I know the Bubba Mice.
That's a Bubba Mice, a grandma story. It means it's an untruth. It means what grandmas tell when they tend to fabricate. So nobody wrote you the next day or 2 days later or 3 days later what a terrible time they had at your son's bar mitzvah because of the music.
Your Honor, excuse me.
Don't speak to me yet.
Okay.
So the answer to the question is, you gave him a check the day of the bar mitzvah because you didn't want to create a scene at the bar mitzvah. And then you were talking amongst yourselves. Not because you got emails from anybody the next day, because that's a lie, or the day after that, and you decided to stop payment on the check, right?
Right.
Now, after you stopped payment on the check, Mr. Herzig called you.
Right.
When you called him, what did Mr. Mora tell you?
My wife was unhappy with your performance.
And?
And we are not paying you, and we don't want to hear from you again. We've dusted our hands of you.
Was that the end of the conversation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have any subsequent conversation with him?
I tried to.
So what did you do, Mr. Herzig? Because that's the second part of their complaint for which they want $4,500.
I sent them eventually I sent them an email. I left messages.
I'm not talking about what you sent to them. They are complaining that you slandered them.
I sent them an email. That was the slander.
He wrote letters to all the religious leaders in the community with this case.
You have copies of the letters? And just a second. Do you have copies of the letters that he sent?
I have one copy with CC's underneath.
Fine. I'd like to see it.
This was registered to me.
Okay.
He also sent a letter to the owner of the Israelite, which is the Jewish paper here in Las Vegas. I have a letter also from...
He carried a picket sign in front of our school, religious school.
Just a second. Okay. Is this what you're talking about?
He sent that whole package.
Just a second.
Yes.
This says...
He sent that to Mike, the owner.
Okay. And it says, how about a headline like Bonnie and Paul Morris stiffed their MC DJ?
Yes.
Well, that's what you did.
Okay.
That's what you did.
Okay.
You wrote
I don't think that he should be telling...
You wrote him a check.
The newspaper that.
You, listen to me. You wrote him a check, and then you stopped payment on the check. That means he got stiffed.
Disc jockey Alan Herzig claims client Bonnie Moore owes for services rendered. Bonnie is countersuing, claiming Alan slandered her.
Mr. Herzig says in this letter that he spent substantial time in your house helping you get the pictures scanned. Is that true?
He agreed that I told him I just bought the scanner. He agreed to come over and do that. But he just showed me how to do it. I already knew.
Listen to me. The answer is he came over to your house, which is not contained in this contract, to help you scan the pictures into a scanner. Not contained in here. He did it because he was being...
Yes, he was. Very nice to do that. although his price
Fine.
was outrageous to begin with anyway.
Mrs. Herzog, that's an untruth. He was charging you $1,150 to perform at your event, which included this montage of pictures. And if you're telling me that that's an outrageous price, you should have hired somebody else. I'm telling you it's not an outrageous price.
Okay. Well,
okay. And I'm still trying to find slander worth slander at all.
I don't think any of my business should be brought to the attention of my four rabbis he sent it to in the newspaper.
Listen, what you think is one thing. He could have been a nice person and not sent it to anybody else. But he chose not to do that. That's not actionable.
Going to the school at checkout time with a poster that says I owe him money, and I have a letter here from the receptionist.
Listen to me.
Did you want to
He
read
has
that?
a right. I'm not looking at a letter. He has a right to do that. You do owe him money. That's not libelous. That's something that's untrue. You do owe him money.
Okay. I
if you
believe
owed
he did
him-
a job. I think it was inferior.
Just a second. Then you don't use him again. Let us say that you go out for a meal, Mrs. Mora, with your husband and your family, and you go to a new restaurant, and you eat at the restaurant, you finish everything on your plate, and you get back in your car that evening, and you say, you know, they advertise this restaurant as having the best ribs in town. And the truth is, I don't like those ribs as well as I like the rib guy at the end of the street. So I paid by credit card, and I'm going to cancel my credit card, despite the fact that I ate the ribs, paid the bill, and I didn't like the way the waiter spoke to me, so I'm going to cancel that charge on my credit card. You think you'd get very far, Mrs. Mora? Zero. So if you don't like the restaurant, the next time you're going out for dinner, go someplace else. It's not as if Mr. Herzog didn't show up. It's not as if you got somebody else to play instead of him. You allowed him to start at 5:30, finish at 9:30. I am absolutely 100% positive that people clapped to the music, danced if they danced to the music,
they didn't.
were on the dance floor. Maybe not everybody. Some people were on the dance floor during the course of the event. In any event, you used his services. You ate his ribs. When you stopped payment on his check, you had no right to do that. You stiffed him. You stole his money. And then you said, you don't like it? Sue me. Which is what he's doing. He wanted to embarrass you. I assume he embarrassed you. That's too bad. What he was saying is true. He's allowed to embarrass you. You have anything else you want to say?
Yes, how about he promised me the lighting system, the sound system was bad. I have on tape.
No,
my
madam,
son-
madam, I want you to take a look at your contract. And I want you to show me in your contract where it's in the contract.
No, it's
Listen to me. That's what you are bound by.
Okay.
The four corners of the contract. I want you to show me, Miss Mora, in the contract where it says that he's going to supply you with a lighting system.
Well, how about the sound system here?
Listen to me. I said, show me in the contract, in the four corners of the contract, where he says he's going to supply you with a lighting system.
That was my mistake, not having him write it, I guess.
You're absolutely right. What kind of business are you in, sir?
Hotel.
What kind of business in the hotel?
Casino.
What do you do in the casino?
I'm a department manager.
You know about contracts?
A little bit.
Good. Well, you have to explain that to your wife, sir. Anything that's within the four corners of the contract, or what courts consider if you sue him. If you said to me he didn't show up until 7 o'clock, and I find that he didn't show up until 7 o'clock, that means he gets docked. The fact that you didn't like the ribs is, as we say in French, bad. Next time, do you have another bar mitzvah that you're planning? Don't use Mr. Herzog. He doesn't want you to use him. They owe you $650.
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment for the plaintiff and your counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
What is your excuse? You may step out. Sorry, have a seat.
Mr. Tumber, this is your former wife and her present husband, and the two of you have been divorced for some time. You have a 17-year-old son. I assume that that is this young man over here.
That's
is that
correct.
right? According to the complaint that I've read, recently, after your divorce and after your former wife was remarried, she ran into some financial difficulty and called you and asked you for a loan. You obliged, according to you, advanced her some money, I think $750.
That's correct.
You want the money back.
Correct.
And in addition, your former wife and her husband purchased a car for your son.
Correct.
And you invested some money in that car in repairing it.
Correct.
Then you decided to buy your son a newer car. And according to you, there was an understanding that they would reimburse you when they sold the old car for the money that you had invested in it so that you could sort of put it towards the new car that you were buying for him.
Correct.
They sold the car and they didn't give you the money that you had invested in it.
Correct.
So you also want that money.
Correct.
When did your former wife call you for this initial loan?
It was around the beginning of this year, but around January.
What happened? You ran into some
2004.
financial difficulty?
The financial difficulty wasn't about me necessarily. It was regarding my son and expenses that we had with the car, with medical, and with a phone bill.
What do you mean the car? What kind of expenses?
Okay, the car that we purchased for my son was a car that we knew...
I don't care what you knew. You had expenses because you had to have it fixed?
Yes.
And how much did you need to have the car fixed?
There were different parts that we needed to buy. My husband did the repairs.
So you spent some of the money that he gave you to fix the car?
Correct.
How much?
The total that we spent on the repairs, just the parts alone of the receipts I could find...
Yes.
...was $224.03.
$224 to fix the car?
For the parts.
Fine. I don't care what your husband's labor was. That's not important to me. What else did you need money for?
My son had a cell bill.
Who bought him a cell phone?
I did.
So why was it your former husband's responsibility?
It wasn't, except for my son went over the minutes, and he did this more than one occasion.
Did your former wife tell you, Mrs. Satango, tell you that this money she was asking you for was for your son?
No, Your Honor, she
What did
didn't.
she tell you?
It was for mortgages on the home that she was in arrears of.
Were you in arrears on your mortgage?
I was never in arrears on my mortgage.
Did you tell him that you needed money to pay your mortgage?
I told him that I couldn't pay the mortgage and everything else, that my son's cell bill was so much money, my son's medical bills that the insurance didn't cover was so much money.
You pay child support, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
How much do you pay?
Just shy of $600 a month, I believe.
Okay. How much money did you
Your
give?
Honor, that's not true.
How much does he give you?
$370 a month.
How do you account for the discrepancy, Mr. Tumba?
I'm not sure how much I pay, to be honest with you, Your Honor.
So why don't you say, I'm not sure? I don't know is something
Yeah,
that a man
we'll
can
try-
say.
I don't know.
3 little words.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Correct, thank you.
Well, you should know how much child support you pay. Do you pay it pursuant to income deduction order? Or
Yes.
So it comes right out of your pay?
Right out of my check, yes.
So it's not 600, it's 370 a month, according to you. Is that what you receive, or do you receive more if there is some in arrears?
$370 a month, Your Honor.
Period?
Period.
Okay, fine. How much money did you loan to her, sir?
$750.
Oh, that's not true, Your Honor.
Show me.
Your Honor, I'd like to
You have a
submit...
check?
Yes.
Let me see it,
Canceled checks with her signature on them.
Your Honor, he could have written anything in after the fact.
No, I'm just looking at the canceled checks, madam. And I'm even looking for the memo. The memo is irrelevant. You owe him $750. I think it's very nice that you can call him and say, listen, I ran into some financial difficulties and I need some money and your son lives with me, so could you do it for me?
But, Your Honor, that's not how it happened.
Did you sell the car? We're
Yes,
going to
we
get to the
sold the
car
car.
now.
But-
Just a second. We're going to get to the car. You and your husband bought a car, and you bought a car for your son. And according to you, some of the money that you got from him was used to fix the car.
Correct.
Right. Then you sold the car.
Correct.
How much money did you give him? I just answer my question. How
Zero.
much money did you
Zero.
give him? Zero. How much did you sell the car for?
$1,000.
Well, if he paid for the parts to fix the car, why didn't you think it was appropriate that if he was buying your son a new car, for you not to at least reimburse him for what he had spent? Don't you think that that's appropriate? Fair? Reasonable? If I believe you, Mrs. Satango, if I believe you, you were able to call your former husband and say to him, despite the fact that you are under a court order and paid child support, it's not enough. because I have some bills that I'm having trouble paying for our son. He went over his minutes on a cell phone that I bought him. That's not his fault. You choose to buy him a cell phone, 17-year-old kid, and he's not responsible enough? That's not his father's problem, because you provided him with the vehicle to be irresponsible. But he was, according to you, he was a nice guy and said, here's the money. According to you, he was a nice guy when you say, I had to fix the car and I need some parts. According to you, he was a nice guy, gave you the money. According to you, despite the fact that he pays child support and is not in arrears, he had some unreimbursed medical bills, and he said, here's the money. So I'm asking you, if he was a nice guy, how come when you sold the car and he was buying him a new car, you didn't say, here's the money that you laid out for the parts?
The car was bought because the car that we bought for my son wasn't good enough, wasn't cool enough. They bought the car. I had nothing to do with that, neither did my husband. We have endured financial difficulty. We did not say that we were going to give him the money. It wasn't for my son to barter. It wasn't for him to barter. We paid the mortgage with the money, and that's the circumstance we're under right now.
So why didn't you just say that to me instead of giving me a whole lot of who shot John? You paid the mortgage. You borrowed money from him and paid a mortgage.
I thought you knew that. I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to be moral. You're supposed to be a moral example for your child. You are not.
I am not.
No, you are not.
And later today,
the only thing that saved my dog's life is the fact that she's 90 pounds.
I saw the dogs basically tearing it apart.
If she had been a smaller dog, the injuries would have killed her.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Paul Tumber says ex-wife Stephanie Sotenko owes for a loan and for proceeds from the sale of their son's vehicle.
Listen, you're a nice guy and she owes you $750 because I believe it was a loan. Now, you tell me about the contract that you say you had with her with regard to paying you back for the money that you invested in the old car.
Okay, well, the verbal contract was that when the vehicle was sold, that I would recoup the money for the parts for the repairs, which I have canceled checks for right here.
Can I see them, please?
And
who
there
did you
never
make
was
this,
a
who did you make?
I'm sorry?
Who did you make this contract with, sir?
With Stephanie.
Can I say something, Your Honor, or do I need to speak in turn? Or
no, now you tell me.
As far as the car, how many fathers give money toward repairs of their son's car and then ask for it back after the car is sold?
Well, let me tell you what usually happens. Usually, if boy has a car and if he wants a better car, and his parents, they are reasonable, say, listen, we'll sell this car, we'll use whatever money we get from this car, we'll put it towards another car. That's what parents do. What you did was you took money from your former husband, because these are your canceled checks.
I didn't take money toward the
yes, you did.
Your Honor, I did not ask him for the money for the parts for the car. He willingly gave me that money.
Because he's a nice guy.
So he was a nice guy and did that for our son.
Just a second, he's a nice guy.
And
you're supposed to be responsible. You're supposed to be moral. You're supposed to be a moral example for your child. You are not.
I am not?
No, you are not. You are not.
Okay.
Because if he is being a nice guy, what you're supposed to be is a moral example for your son and say, listen, we sold the car for $1,000. You put in practically that. I'm speaking. You put in practically that. I'll be more than happy to give that money towards the new car so that we will jointly, in some way, have contributed to the car that our son is driving. You chose not to do that. You owe him the money for the repairs to the car because I believe you had an agreement, if you sold the car, to give him back that money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,595. That's it.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You are excused. You may step out.
If I had had the money, morally, I would have given the money.
I'm in a financial position. I don't make a lot of money, that I just wanted my funds back.
I didn't really want to be here, but I guess it's the best way to do it.
It's no love lost between my son and I.
Be sure that you know what and who you're dealing with.
Did we learn anything today? I don't really think so.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Valerio versus Gunderson. Step forward.
Customer service rep Summer Valerio is suing fellow dog owner, 21-year-old customer service rep Gabe Gunderson for vet bills. Summer says Gabe's pit bull attacked her dog.
Ms. Valerio, you claim that the defendant's dog injured your dog during a fight.
Yes.
And you want the defendant to pay the vet bills.
Correct.
For your dog. Mr. Gunderson says that there was a dog fight. Your dog got the worst of the fight, and your dog shouldn't have been there anyway. So you'll explain that to me. What kind of a dog do you have?
She's a Mastiff Lab mix.
That's a big dog?
Yes.
And where was the dog?
In March of 2004, I made arrangements with Janice Rawson to keep my dogs at her house because she had just bought a house, and me and my boyfriend at the time broke up, and I was moving into a condo and didn't feel it was fair to take my 2 large dogs to a condominium with me. So she agreed to keep the dogs, and I continued to pay for their food and their vet bills while they were in her care until I made new living arrangements.
Just a second. So you left your dogs with this lady in March. Step up. What's your name?
My name is Janice Rawson.
You have a large piece of property?
It's a house with a yard.
You have your own dogs?
No.
What kind of dogs? One was a Mastiff mix, and what was the other?
Pit Bull Boxer mix.
Also a big dog?
Yes.
Who else lives in your house?
At the time when I moved in, it was Jeffrey, her now husband, and Dustin.
Jeffrey, her now husband.
The boyfriend I had separated from. And then we got back together and got married. But it was a temporary separation. He was living with her with the dogs there at the time.
Oh. So not only did you place your dogs with her, but you placed your ex-boyfriend there too.
Yes.
Now, tell me about Mr. Gunderson.
Mr. Gunderson moved in with me when summer...
What do you do, rent rooms?
Yes. I have a 4-bedroom house.
Okay, so you rented a room to him. Okay.
Mr. Gunderson moved in with me when Jeffrey moved in with Summer, and they got married, and then I rented a room to Gabe.
So Mr. Gunderson moved in with a...
Male pit bull.
So now you have 3 dogs in your house.
3 dogs.
Is that the dog that injured her dog?
No, that's a separate dog.
Well, where did the separate dog come from?
We went on vacation to San Diego. We were told by Jeffrey.
Who's we?
Me, Janice, a different group of friends of ours. We were told by Jeffrey before we left on a certain date the dogs would be gone. We get back from San Diego. I'd pick up the dog who got
Picked up what dog?
The dog that's the reason why we're here, the one that attacked her dog. Or
You mean
got
a
into fight
second
with
dog?
us.
You picked
The
up a second dog?
Right. Picked that dog up. I got home, found out that Jeff and Summer did not live up to their end of the bargain as far as taking those dogs back like we were told.
Your Honor. Well, why did you need a second dog?
I asked Janice. I wanted a female so I can breed. I asked Janice. She said that'd be fine.
Is that right?
Yes, but the condition was that he could only get the second dog when her dogs were gone, and it wasn't an exact date of when they were going to take the dogs back. It was a hopeful date. So he should have made sure that the dogs were gone before he actually picked up the pit bull.
Well, he didn't. So on what date did you pick up the pit bull?
October 9th.
And what date was this fight that caused the injury to Miss Valerio's dog?
On the 28th, same month.
So why didn't you tell me how to get rid of the dog?
Well, I like dogs, and it's not, and the family who had the dog before couldn't keep the dog, and so it didn't really have anywhere to go back to except for the pound, and I didn't want to see that happen, so...
Okay, so you allowed him to keep the dog there. Fine.
Yes.
Now tell me about the fight.
My other witness here is the one that broke up the dog fight and basically saved my dog's life.
Is that right?
Yes.
Good. Between the 9th of October and the day that this happened, did you visit your dogs?
Yes, and I actually, a couple weekends prior, had taken Justice to my house for the weekend. I would take her sometimes for 3 or 4 days at a time.
So you knew he had both dogs there?
Yes, but I did not know that that dog had a history of being aggressive. He, on the other hand, did.
Were you home when Miss Valerio's dog was injured?
No, no.
You were? Step up. Tell me your name. Miss Rawson, you may sit down.
Noelle Cook.
I'll hear you.
Okay. I was at home, and I just heard the dogs fighting in the backyard, and I went to look over the fence, and I saw the dogs, his female and kind of his male. His male kept coming in and out of the fight. They had her dog pinned on the ground and basically tearing it apart.
And I have pictures, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
And also her vet bills and her medical records.
I'd like to see the pictures first.
If I may say, the vet did say that the only thing that saved my dog's life is the fact that she's 90 pounds. If she had been a smaller dog, the injuries would have killed her.
Mr. Gunderson, you understand, sir, that sometimes pit bulls have been known to be aggressive dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
How did you find out about the dog?
They lived actually across the street from a friend of mine. I've seen them before. Saw an ad in the paper. I called them, found out that it was the same people. So I've talked to them. I've seen the dog before, been around the dog before. It wasn't a big issue.
Did they have children?
They have one kid, yes.
And they felt that the dog was not appropriate to live with.
Well, they have two other dogs.
Look at me.
They have two other
They felt
dogs.
that the dog was not appropriate to live with them. Otherwise, what reason do you have to get rid of a dog?
Yeah, well.
If you have other dogs. It's not an allergy.
Mhm.
Is that right? Mr. Gunderson, pay careful attention. I'm very smart. This dog, you knew that the dog had had some problems. Is that right?
Right.
Who do you think is responsible, therefore, for a dog that has had certain problems in the past when the dog attacks again?
The owner of that dog.
That's you.
Mm-hmm.
You were aware of the dog's previous problems with the prior owner. Why you would choose to take a dog that had had problems, I don't know. And why you would choose to breed a dog that had prior problems, I for sure don't know. You have an answer to either of those questions?
I knew about the situation. I explained to Janice before I even got the dog.
I'm not talking about Janice. I'm asking you why you would choose to take a dog that had problems.
Because it had nowhere to go, so I took it.
And why, if it had nowhere else to go when you know the dog has certain character problems, why would you choose to breed a dog like that?
It's one fight. I didn't think it'd be a big deal, to be honest.
Well,
I've
now
been
you
around.
know better, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now I'll see the vet bills. That was easy.
Your Honor, each page is an individual invoice. The total actually came to what I wrote on the front. And she had to be kept in the hospital for 7 days.
Do you understand, sir? We all make certain choices when we get a pet. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to choose a pet that doesn't have violent propensities. You chose a pet that you knew had had problems enough so that a prior owner was looking to get rid of it. You took it. Not only did you take it, but you made a choice, because one of the reasons that you told me you chose to take this dog is because you wanted to breed it, to propagate whatever character flaws that this dog had. That is stupid. Very stupid. It's going to cost you $2,455.50. That's all. Step out.
Versus Hellinger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat. You're welcome.
Mr. Bigda, how old are you, sir?
I'm 28 years old, Your Honor.
Is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for roughly 3 years, almost 4.
You have children
Yes,
with her?
ma'am. I have 2 by my wife, Your Honor.
Your complaint says, sir, that the defendant is the boyfriend of the mother of another of your children. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you married to your wife at the time that this child was conceived?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
How old is the child that you have with, what's your name?
Selena.
Selena.
She just turned 2, Your Honor.
And this is your complaint, Mr. Bigda. Your complaint is that the defendant assaulted you.
Yes, sir.
And in addition, you claim that you made a small loan to him to cover some insurance payment that he needed. Mr. Hellinger says that you precipitated this argument, and in addition, he is counterclaiming. He alleges that you called Child Protective Services on him on more than one occasion, and in addition, he says that he's been supporting your child, correct?
Yes.
How much child support do you pay, Mr. Bigda?
I paid $36 weekly, court ordered.
Do you pay it every week?
Yes, I do, ma'am. It's taken directly out of my paycheck, Your Honor.
And how much is your paycheck, sir?
My paycheck, it ranges anywhere from $300 to $600, depending on how many hours I work.
Then why do you only pay $36 a week in child support? Put your hand down.
Because that's what the court had ordered, because I have 2 other children and a wife. My wife does not work, so I have...
Why doesn't your wife work?
Because she stays home and takes care of our 2-year-old.
You have another 2-year-old? You are very busy, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why don't you work and earn $600 a week all the time, Mr. Bigda?
Because the paper mill doesn't always have overtime. Some weeks you might work 12-hour days. Some days you just work 8 hours. It varies if we have people that call in or...
Yes.
I worked at the same paper mill, and overtime's always welcome. I left that job because of him. Right now I'm currently climbing trees. So,
for a living?
Yes, I cut trees down. I work for tree service.
Oh, you cut trees down. You said I climb trees. I said I didn't know that you could make a living doing that.
So when he says that the overtime ain't there, it is always there at that mill. I work there. I also put in tons of hours.
Mr. Bigda, it's outrageous that you only pay $36 a week in child support, sir. I'm telling you that right now. Even if you pay it, she wants to tell me that you don't even pay it. But if you paid it, that's an outrageous figure for you to pay for child support. It's not your child's fault, sir, that you didn't know how to keep your whatever in your pants. That's outrageous. What?
Sorry. He
I only received $26 out of that 36. 10 of it goes to the Department of Social Services towards arrears.
Yes.
And the rear support is actually medical bills for Mrs. Catterette for having the baby. It's not rear.
No. It's not medical bills for her, sir. It's the birthing expenses for your child. Because when you make a baby, it has to be born.
Yes, that's what
right? Put your hand down. I don't know why you still tolerate him. Me, I'd be visiting him, you know, and bringing flowers. Now, I'm ready to hear, sir, your tale of woe.
On the beginning of January 2007, I had recommended Justin, because he had not had a job for a while, to the paper mill that I worked at, and they had hired him. And on January 18th, I had loaned the defendant $50 to get his car insured so he could get to and from work. 2 days later, I had also loaned him another $20 so he would have gas money. And at that current time, I was out on disability due to my hand. I had to have carpal tunnel surgery on my right and my left hand. And during that time, things were going good. I had come back to work roughly the end of February. And at the end of February...
So you weren't paid for the entire month of February?
I was paying. I had support reduced, and it was I'm all caught up as we speak.
What'd you have it reduced to? How could they reduce it any lower?
Because it was reduced because I was only bringing home $230 a week due to disability. I have proof of what I had loaned him.
Get on to the... So far, I hear $70, sir.
All right.
$70 from your $26 a week that you pay in child support, not $36. $10 goes for arrears. You acknowledge that. So you pay $26 a week, which is less than $100 a month. You want me to translate that by day, sir? Let me translate that. $26 a week divided by 7 equals $3.71 a day. That's what you pay. Let's move on.
Also, when I had returned back to work on February 26th, Justin Hellinger had assaulted me several times.
Well, I want you to tell me what happened. What's the basis of your claim, sir? Let's hear it.
Pretty much what happened is I try to see my daughter whenever I can, and he does not want me to see my daughter, and he tries to control when I can and when I can't. And he told me if I call to have any contact, he'd kill me and bury me. On the night of January 13th, Mr. Hellinger had come down to my part of the plant where he should not have been and started having verbal words with me. He told me that he was going to beat me up, and I didn't want to have any time of problems, so I went to turn around, and when I turned around, he had closed his fist and hit me on the left side of my head, 2 centimeters from my temple, and I was taken to the hospital by the employers. I have hospital statements showing...
I'd like to see those, please. Okay. Now, Mr. Hellinger, I'd like you to tell me your version of what happened on the 13th, please.
The bathroom is downstairs in the mill, so I was going down to the bathroom. There's 2 flights of stairs. I went down one flight, he went down the other. We intercepted each other in the middle. It's about a 10, 15-foot hallway. I confronted him about what he was doing to me, why he was calling my house at midnight.
Just a second. When you say you confronted him, what did you say to him?
I said, Cashmere, why do you keep calling my house at midnight, harassing me and my family?
When did he call your house at midnight? Put your hand down!
It was probably the beginning of January when all this...
How many times did he call your house at midnight?
Oh, several.
Who did he speak to?
Her or me when I was there.
What did he say to you when he called at midnight?
Asked how I was doing and if Justin was being good, if I was doing all right and everything was all right between us. Pretty much wanted to know about my relationship with Justin.
Did you ever tell him not to call your house at midnight?
Justin has several times.
Why did you call their house at midnight?
I personally didn't. My wife did. My wife and Selena were good friends, and Selena had asked my wife to call so they could just talk about our child and other things. They were friends, and Mr. Hellinger does not like her being friends with my wife. So she would ask my wife to call late at night when Justin went to work.
I'm asking you, sir.
I have personally never called his house after 10 o'clock. My wife had always done the calling for me because he would not allow me to call.
For you?
He would not allow me to call.
When your wife called, did you ever get on the phone?
There's been a few times.
When your wife, just the answer is either yes or no. When your wife placed the call, did you ever get on the phone?
Yes.
That's what he's complaining about. Do you get it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you confronted him about the calls that were coming to your house being made by his wife, but then the phone being turned over to the plaintiff.
Yes.
And what happened next?
He got a little irate, got loud with me.
No. Tell me what he said.
He can do anything he wants. It's his kid. And if he wants to be with Selena, he can be with her anytime he wants because he can just take her out to the bar and do what he wants to her. And
Put your hand down.
It made me grumpy.
Made you grumpy?
Yes, very grumpy.
Well, probably mildly.
He slandered me. He slandered me through the whole mill, told the mill all my business, told the mill, a lot of the people I worked with, that I was beating her and the kid. I confronted him about that, too. He started to come at me, and at that time, I just pushed through with him. And I don't know if I hit him in the head or not, but I did.
Well, you did hit him in the head, sir.
I had an open hand. I never closed my hand when I hit him because he's handicapped. I would not hit a handicapped person.
Okay. Now I'll hear you.
Yes, Your Honor. I had made a report to the police. He was arrested. I have the arrest.
I'd like
and
to
there
see.
was,
Now you can stand up.
And I have told people about Justin at the mill, and the reason why I did that is because I fear for my daughter's welfare. That's why I keep persisting. He's a registered 2 sex offender, and it is on the website for everybody to see. I fear for my little girl's life, and so
Yes.
I've been with this little girl for 2 years. My officer said it's fine. I have 2 children of my own. I also get every other weekend. Being around his daughter is no problem to me. I'm not dangerous to anybody. What I done in my past was my business. The fact, yes, it is. I am registered, but it don't affect my life at all. I have a good job. I work around several 100,000 people a day. I go to people's homes.
Did your prior conviction involve children?
No, it did not. It involved an underage girl, which I did not know her name, or her age, I should say.
How old are you now?
I am 24.
Put your hand down!
I am 24.
24. And when was this conviction?
2 years ago?
2 years ago when you were 22.
Yes.
And how old was the girl?
16.
Got it. Fine. Not fine legally, but that's a totally different scenario than pedophilia. That's just dumb.
Understood.
And you have too many children, sir, at age 24. If you
I
have
understand.
3 children.
Yes.
You too. I don't care how many trees you climb, and I don't care how much pulp you make. Now, you want to say something to me?
The phone calls that were made to Selena were me returning calls and her returning my calls. He did not take the phone every time, only once in a great while.
Listen, he took the phone more than once. Madam, I don't even have to be there to know that he took the phone
yes,
more
he
than
did.
once. Right. Anything else you want to say?
Just that the support issue, we give them money on the side to above what the court orders. We also buy Davina's clothes, Davina's diapers, her wipes, her shoes. And when we do send them home...
Show me receipts.
Right here, where I spent at Walmart off of my bank card.
Show me.
There's a few. There's Walmart there, where we spent $502 to buy clothes, diapers, wipes, food.
What about for whose children?
For his daughter.
Not for your children?
No, not at that point, no. I buy her things separately.
Baloney. I don't believe a word of what you just said to me. Sit down. You think that I believe that you went and spent $500 on his daughter and none of that?
No, some of it was on his daughter. Not all.
Now, that's better.
I'm sorry,
Some
it was
of
my
it was,
mistake.
you made a mistake.
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Kashmir Bigda claims his ex-lover's fiancé, Justin Hellinger, punched him in the head while he was working.
What?
Also, I fear for my child because last summer, roughly June or July, the defendant was also arrested because his girlfriend Selena had left him, and he rolled his car trying to kill himself on purpose. And he had a suicide message left on my machine. I didn't bring that with me today.
Yes.
The fact that I tried to kill myself has nothing to do with
Yes,
his
it does.
child. I was not with him.
Yes,
I got
listen
help.
To me. Listen to me. That's a legitimate concern.
I understand it is.
Okay? That's a legitimate concern. If you have suicidal thoughts, that's one thing. If you act out those suicidal thoughts and you are around the child, that's a legitimate concern that a parent might have. You get it?
Yep.
Now, I assume that that formed the basis of at least one of the calls to Child Protective Services.
No, it did not.
Did it?
Yes, it did.
How many times did you call Child Protective Services?
3 times.
Tell me about the 3 times.
The one time was when he rolled his car, and Selena, the mother of my child, was worried, so we got together and had called. The second time was when he called my house, going irate, and he threatened to kill me and bury me and told me I could not see my child. So I was very concerned about the welfare of my daughter. And the third time was due to him stalking and calling me names and stuff. He had even stooped low. He had convinced his girlfriend to go to the police and report that I had raped her. That's how our daughter was conceived. And the police had come to my house, and she was filed for making a false report and is under community service for trying to have me arrested.
Yes. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. That's not good. That's not good.
I was highly intoxicated the night that me and Kashmir, conceived my daughter.
So?
I don't remember any of it, and it was not a coerced thing. I went to the police department on my own.
How much after your daughter was born?
6 months, maybe.
So you had 9 months and 6 months? You had 15 months to think about it?
I was not...
Okay. Mr. Hellinger, he was clearly assaulted, and you clearly lost your temper. So you have to be responsible for his medical bills.
Your Honor.
What?
I have a unfounded paper from Social Services January 30th that he called on me where I was unfounded.
Yeah, that's okay. He has legitimate concerns about you. Are you getting any help for yourself?
Yes, I am.
Good. You seeing somebody regularly?
Yes, I do.
Put your hand down. Listen, if you think that I find you a sympathetic character, I do not. You were disloyal to your wife. You created a situation that she's going to have to live with and suffer with her whole life if she decides to stay with you. She has 2 children with you. I guarantee you the day that you told her that you had another child the same age as your youngest child was not the happiest day of her life. So if you think that I believe that you're a sympathetic character, I believe that you are an unsympathetic character, sir. As far as the money that you claim you gave him, that hardly makes up for the amount of money he contributes to support your child. So he's going to pay your medical bills, which are roughly $500. Unfortunately, Mr. Hellinger, you want to be compensated for supporting his child. That's your prerogative. If you choose to do that, you do that gratuitously.
That ain't a big problem to me, the harassment.
Fine. And as far as calling Child Protective Services, some of your behavior, sir, is questionable. And I suggest to you, I would continue with the help that you're getting because you probably need it. What?
I also have proof that I lost wages.
I don't care if you lost wages.
When he's...
Make up for it for the $26 a week that you send to support your child, or $3.71 a day. I'm telling you, sir, you are an unsympathetic person to me. I think that you would like to have control over this situation that you created. Were you drunk the night that she got pregnant?
No, I was not.
Was she?
Yes.
You know how unsympathetic you are? The scale of sympathy from me just went to a -10. So she was drunk, you weren't. You clearly then took advantage of somebody. Got a fair statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
So he's going to cover your medical bills, period. It's your $500. What a situation you created, sir. You created this whole situation. I know, because she was drunk. How old are you?
23.
And you?
28.
Goodbye, sir. You get your medical bills. Try to live with each other in peace.
Party Judge Judy, step out. Siegfried versus McGeorge. Parties have been sworn. You're welcome. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Siegfried, it is your complaint that the defendant reneged on an agreement that the two of you had when you entered into a contest. And the contest, which you'll explain to me, had as its prize a car. And you claim that the defendant agreed that if she won the car, she would either sell the car and give you half of the proceeds, but she would share the prize with you, and likewise, if you won, you would share it with her. She, in fact, won the car and refuses to sell it or give you half of its value. That's what the case is about.
Right.
So, this was a good friend of yours?
A very good friend of mine, yes.
Now tell me about the contest.
It was actually put on by a local radio station. The two of us...
Where?
In L.A. We were going to try to win tickets to see a particular group.
A group? What kind of group?
NSYNC.
I've heard of them.
We were trying to win concert tickets through this radio station, and we had been calling for over a week. We'd been trying very hard to win these tickets, and in the process, through one of the times that we called, Deanna was asked if she would like to participate in another contest that they had running at the same time, which involved sitting in a car for a week. And at that time, I was with Deanna when she was on the phone with the radio station. And
where were you?
We were actually in my car coming home from a mall where we were meeting one of the DJs from the radio station. And we had decided when we left the mall that let's try and win the tickets again. So she continued calling, and at that time, she was asked, would you like to be in a car contest? And her response was, would this make me lose out on winning the tickets to the concert? And they told her yes, that you would not be eligible any longer to win the tickets. And she's like, well, I don't know. And I'm all, just do it. It'd be fun. Just do it. So she's decided now at this point that she's going to be in the contest.
All right. Now, what exactly was the contest?
She was to sit in a car for a week.
Alone?
No, there were other contestants that were going to be participating. The original rules set forth were that the person who stayed in the car the longest would win the car. And when myself and her went down to the contest, I drove her down there. We found out prior to the contest at the beginning that it would end on Sunday regardless of...
How many people's tuchuses were still in the car?
There were 2 cars.
Okay.
And in one car there were 4 people, and in our car there was myself, Deanna, and another contestant.
They couldn't get 4 people. They
That's
couldn't
correct.
get 4 lunatics. to
That's
sit in the
correct.
car for
They suckered me into it instead.
Okay, so you got down there with her, and they said, would you like to sit in the car, too?
Right. They asked me if I would be interested in staying in the car because they didn't have enough contestants to participate. So they asked me if I would be interested in staying down there. I wasn't very...
Was it the same radio station that was running this contest?
The same radio station, yes, that was giving away the tickets for the concert, yes.
And at the end of the contest, which was going to be that Sunday, if everybody is left in the car, how do they choose a winner?
They drew straws.
They said it would be a drawing.
Right.
That's all they said.
Okay. So the 2 of you stayed in the car for the entire week?
Yes, we did.
Is that right?
Yes.
How were you fed?
How were we fed? We were sponsored by a local restaurant that
They
brought
just
us,
gave you the food in the car?
They brought us meals throughout the day.
And what about potty breaks? How do you do that?
They specified them as 3-hour breaks, and at that time we were able to get out of the car for 15 minutes and do what we needed to do, to stretch and what have you.
And what about sleeping? You just slept whenever?
They slept in the car. I personally did not sleep for 4 days straight, but we slept in the car.
In the car?
In the position that we were sitting in. We were never able to leave the position of the car that we were in.
What if you had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night?
You went in the car.
Seriously?
Nobody actually did that.
We never had that come up, but yes, that would have been...
Or you get out.
Or you get out of the car and go to the bathroom.
And then you're out of the contest?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And sometimes they didn't wake us
I
up
would never
to
last
go.
in a contest like that. Okay, so the end of the week came, and it's on Sunday, and the 3 of you were left in your car?
Right, correct. The other car, they had already designated a winner.
So, drew straws.
Correct.
And you picked?
It was actually numbered straws, and they had corresponding numbered envelopes that had keys in the envelopes. And I picked a straw with the number 2 on it, and the envelope number 2, and they said whatever key started the car, that person was to win the car.
And you won?
Yes.
So now tell me about this contract that you allege you had with her. Because it's clear that she decided not to sell the car. She decided to keep the car. Friendship's over. She said, I'm not selling the car and I'm not giving any money.
Correct.
Now tell me your version of the contract that you had with her.
Okay. Simply, while we were sitting in the car, her and I discussed that we would sell the car and split the money from the car. And in the process, we would also win tickets to see NSYNC. One of us would get the tickets and we would split everything.
Okay, and did you get the NSYNC tickets?
Yes, I did.
And did you go with the defendant?
I did take the defendant to the concert.
So far, that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me about your understanding of this agreement that you had with her.
As far as the agreement goes, when we got in the car together, she had mentioned something about if either one of us wins the car, let's sell it and split the money. And I had said, I don't want to agree to anything just yet. I don't know what the outcome of the contest is. So I can't say yes or no. I don't want to say yes or no because I don't know if I'm even going to win. I don't know if you're even going to win.
And this was a conversation that you said you had as soon as you got into the car?
It wasn't directly right when we got in the car, but it
Within a day or so?
the first day.
Within the first day?
Mm-hmm.
And you stayed in the car together for 5-6 days?
Mm-hmm. Nothing else was ever mentioned.
And did you speak to each other?
Yeah.
Friendly, laughing?
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't believe you. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe you.
Okay.
If she's your friend and What she's saying is absolutely right. The two of you being in this contest certainly increased your chances of winning.
Right.
You got much better odds with the two of you deciding that whoever wins, it's going to be like a joint winning.
Right. Except that the whole reason I was doing this was because I was in some financial problems, and if I were to win the car, I wanted to use that to help
And what
me
if
out.
you lost everything? You think that if you lost everything, you would take the same position as you're taking now? No, you wouldn't.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Deborah Siegfried says former friend Deanna McGeorge refuses to share a car they won in a radio contest. Deanna says they only agreed to share another prize, tickets to an NSYNC concert.
So you had financial problems, but you made an agreement with her. And the agreement was that if either of you won this contest, you were going to share the prize money. And how could you not?
That agreement?
Yes, you did. Sure you did. You may have put it in the back of your mind, forgot about it, said, it's not really what I meant. I said I would sell the car, but now I'm not going to sell the car because I really want the car. I'm going to keep the car, so where am I going to get money to give you? And forget it, and the friendship is over. It's really outrageous, Miss McGeorge. How long had you been
Well, that
friends?
wasn't exactly how it happened. We had been friends up way after the contest, and I had explained to her that I wasn't going to sell the car, and she was fine with that. Nothing was ever mentioned from the contest from the time of, I would say, April until about September. September is when she started all this.
Why?
Because we had gone on vacation in August together, and we both had some mishaps. We got in an argument, and when we got back, I hadn't called her for a couple days, and she left me a message on my voicemail, which I thought was very rude, and I didn't want to call her back. I was just wanting to take some time away from her because we had been in arguments, and I decided that I wasn't going to call her back.
Had you discussed between the time that you won this contest and the time you went on vacation what you were going to do with the car?
When I actually received the car in April, I had told her that I decided I was going to keep the car.
And what did she say to you at that point?
She really didn't say anything. We were in the gym, and she walked out on me.
She was angry.
Yeah, I understand
She was
that.
angry.
I understand that.
Well, I just want to make sure that that's clear, that that was not, at least as far as she was concerned, her understanding.
Right.
You said to her, I decided to keep it. Bye. So she was angry. Another thing, did you win the concert tickets to NSYNC as a sort of a second prize?
I was given concert tickets to see NSYNC and also some tickets to another group.
How many tickets were you given to NSYNC?
At the time, they were only going to give me 2, but she had asked me if I could please ask the gentleman to get us 2 more because we had
I
planned
didn't
on...
ask her to.
I had asked on... We had planned on taking her niece and her niece's friend to the concert as well, so she thought that if I asked him for 4, he might give us 4, and then all 4 of us could go together.
But if you hadn't gotten the 4, and if you just got the 2, who was supposed to go?
It would be Deanna and myself.
And you, in fact, went?
Yes, we did.
So you split that prize money?
Yes, I did.
You owe that prize, whatever it was?
Correct.
Isn't that registering with you?
Yeah.
Huh?
That register's just completely fine with me.
You're better off without her. You got it? Not an honorable person. What kind of car did you win?
It was a Kia Rio.
You have the value?
Yes, I do. I have 3 invoices.
Can I see it, please?
You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
I sure wouldn't. You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
No, never.
Huh? The lawsuit is for $5,000, which is maximum allowed in this court. Correct. Clearly half of the value of the car. Were there any things that you had to pay for on the car? Did you have to pay any taxes on the car?
Yes, I had
What
to
kind
pay.
of taxes did you have to pay?
The tax, title, and license.
Other than that, you have to pay income tax on winning.
Yeah, we haven't received anything yet because it comes at the end of the year. It's a winning a prize tax.
You know how much it is?
I'm not exactly sure how much it is.
Do you work?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do?
Customer service. Retail.
How much do you earn?
Approximately $10 an hour.
A year?
About $20,000.
So you're probably in the 15% bracket, is that right?
That'd be about right.
Even deducting for the taxes that you would have to pay and that she would have to pay on these winnings and the tags and everything else, it's still in excess of the $5,000, which is the limit of this court, and I'm awarding you $5,000. You have to be an honorable person, that's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excuse, you may step out.
I feel that Judge Judy was very fair, and she took the time to listen to what I had to say, and I think she truly understood the facts of the case.
I think it's completely wrong that she should be getting $5,000.
I truly never wanted our friendship to end. I
can't speak on Deanna's half, but I never wanted it to come to this.
It was never a complete agreement. We never agreed on anything at all.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Keck versus Soleil. Step forward, please.
Bookkeeper Barbara Keck is suing her daughter's friend, 19-year-old receptionist Amanda Soleil, for causing her car to be towed and impounded.
Miss Keck, the defendant was living with your family.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your daughter?
Yes, it is.
I assume she was a friend of your daughter's?
Yes.
You allowed her to use one of your cars. It was an older car. She had run into some transportation problems. She relied on her boyfriend, according to your complaint, for transportation. I assume this is boyfriend Jeff.
Yes.
Hi.
Right? And at some point, after a period of time, the car broke down.
Yes.
The car broke down at Jeff's place of employment.
Right.
The car was subsequently towed and impounded. You had considerable fees to get the car out of tow, and you believe that the defendant should be responsible for paying those fees.
Yes, I did.
She says the car was a piece of junk, basically.
I don't have a problem with that.
When did she come to live with your family?
I think it was in May, either early or latter part.
Why?
I understand that she and her mother weren't getting along, and her mother had asked her, you know, just go on and live somewhere else.
What would make you take her into your house?
She's my daughter's friend and had been since senior in high school. They're both in college now. And she'd been over to the house and dinners and, you know, proms and all that. So we were all good friends.
Did you charge her any rent?
No.
When did you give her the car to use?
Maybe early August.
Tell me about that.
She and Jeff were in a traffic accident, which totaled his truck. So, you know, after they came over and they were at dinner at our house, I think, talking about things, and I said, well, how are you going to get around? And so we just decided, well, shoot, we've got this Mazda, we'll let her use it.
Now, you tell me what happened with the car and when.
After she gave it to use it, it was September 6th, and I was dropping Jeff off at work.
So we'd used it for a while?
Yeah.
Used it for about a month?
For about a month, yes. And I dropped him off at work that morning, and as I was saying goodbye, it just died. And which is normal because the whole time I used it, it would stop at stoplights, just like she said. And this time it just died. I couldn't get it to click over or anything. So we pushed it back into a parking spot. And I said to him, well, I'm going to have a car anyway, so we might as well go buy a car now. So he used a company truck, took me home. I called in sick to work, and then I went to buy a car. And after I bought the car, I came home that day. It was about 4 o'clock. And I told Barbara, I said, Barbara, come look at what I bought. So I came out to the driveway and I said, I bought a car. And she goes, well, what prompted you to do this? And I said, well, your car broke down today on the way taking Jeff to work. And she said, oh, I said, well, I left it at Jeff's work. And then she said that she would talk to her husband, Bernard, about it, and they would discuss what we would do about it when he comes home the next day.
I'm not ready for you yet.
Oh, okay.
And did you have another discussion with Barbara?
During the period of the next week, it just kind of came up off and on. Nobody really said anything. I worked full-time, and we never sat down and totally discussed it.
Well, instead of going and buying a new truck that day, why didn't you call a tow truck and have the car towed back home?
Like, I've never had a car towed on me before, and I really didn't know what to do.
Well, you knew enough to go and buy a car. You have to fill out forms, you have to take it to be registered, you have to go to motor vehicles, you have to get insurance, right? And to get a car towed, you have to pick up the phone and look in the yellow pages and find towing and call and say, come pick up the car and would you please bring it back to my residence? Now, which one seems harder to you?
Probably buying the car.
Right. And the towing fees were $455.
Right.
Well, you explained to me, young lady, why you don't think you are responsible for that.
Well, I feel that because I feel because the car was in her name, and the day that it broke down, I did come home and I did let her know.
After you bought a new car?
Yeah. Well, at the time, that seemed like the right thing to do to me. I don't.
No, it seemed like the selfish thing to do.
Buying the car was my idea.
Excuse me?
Buying the car was my idea. I had the money saved up, and I just said, you know.
Is anybody talking to him? Are you still living in her house?
No.
You lived there for how long?
From June until early September.
3 months she didn't charge you any rent.
Right.
Not $50 a month, not $100 a month. I assume you ate breakfast there. You said you had some dinners there. Jeff came over and ate there. Did she charge you when Jeff came over and ate dinner?
No, she didn't.
Nice lady. And let you have a car. There's no issue. Where's the issue? Why are we here? It was your responsibility to bring the car home and say, now I've fulfilled my responsibility. It was given to me in the driveway. I've returned it to the driveway. You got it? And if he thinks that that's wrong, oh, I'm dying to hear from him.
You're dying. Okay.
Stand up!
She said, okay, when she gave us that car, it breaks down at stoplights. If you crash it, I don't care. Just don't get it stolen. Insurance doesn't cover that. If it breaks down, leave it. If it does this, does that, leave it. I don't care. The car's garbage. It's an 83 or 86, doesn't matter. It's got over 200,000
Sit
miles.
down. This lady was very nice to you. Mr. Responsibility over here doesn't get it together as much as he should. You know, doesn't understand that as an adult you have certain responsibilities. You should understand that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $485. That's all.
पढ़ाई करता है और बिस्किट खाता है जैस मार खा गया मेरे से जैस और मार खाएगा छे छे जैस तुम कहाँ आया है अच्छा सुन दे गुस्सा हो रहा है
पूरा
वो पानी जम जाता है पूरा फ्रीजर में नहीं रखना है
खराब हो गया चुप रहा है ना बेइज्जती मत करो कैसे पहनाएंगे प्रियंका थोड़ी मुश्किल
अच्छे तरह सारी बोलती रहेगी मेरा ये वाला बैनर में मेरा फोटो आ जाता है ना तो फिर अरे एक पैर इसमें रखो हाँ अभी चलाओ अभी अरे अरे हाँ जैस चला लेगा नहीं छोड़ दो नहीं बनेगा एंग कला है ठीक लग रहा है ना जैस ठीक लग रहा है ना पानी पी लीजिए जल्दी
यहाँ पे डूबेगा ना मछली रहता बहुत बड़ा मछली
तो मछली बहुत सारा है ना
कहाँ है
कुछ खाने के लिए देना चाहता है चलो
चलो ना खाने के लिए
आओ आते इसे कहाँ बोलेगा तब लोग जल्दी उठ खड़ा हो बैठ सोने का कोई जगह है यहाँ पर आजा अभी इसको आइसक्रीम चाहिए ले आइसक्रीम ले चल अच्छा ले पंखा में बैठ जाए थोड़ा सा पंखा में बैठ जाता क्या
देख रही हो
कुछ भी नहीं
इससे ऐसे करके वीडियो क्यों बना रहे हो क्या कर रहे हो
पता नहीं
ये नहीं चलेगा
पर अर्निंग नहीं होती है, उसके लिए तुम ये एक लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोसेस है, तुमको साल भर लगेगा इस पर ग्रो करने में, ठीक है। तुम और जब ग्रो हो जाएगा तो अच्छा खासा तुम अर्न करना शुरू कर दोगे। दूसरी चीज़, ये है कौवा। इसको पूरा दुनिया बोलता है कि ये कोयल से ख़राब गाता है, ख़राब दिखता है, ठीक है। पूरा दुनिया बोलता है, हर कोई बोलता है कौवा ख़राब है कोयल से, लेकिन आज तक कौवा को घंटा फ़र्क नहीं पड़ा है कि कोयल से हमको अच्छा बनना है या ख़राब बनना है, ठीक है। दुनिया क्या बोलता है, इसको घंटा फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता, ये अपना मस्त अपना रोटी खाता है और घूमता है। तो हम लोग को भी अपना काम से मतलब रखना है, दुनिया क्या बोले वो मैटर नहीं करता, बस अपना काम करना है। ये है कौवा। इसको दुनिया वाले कंपेयर करते हैं कि ये कोयल से ख़राब है, ये ख़राब गाता है, ख़राब दिखता है, लेकिन इसको घंटा फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता है। आज तक इसको घंटा फ़र्क नहीं पड़ा है कि ये कोयल से ख़राब है या अच्छा है। इसलिए हम लोग को बनना है कौवे के जैसा, कि हम लोग को दुनिया से मतलब नहीं है कि दुनिया क्या बोले, भले दुनिया कुछ भी बोले, रोज़ बेसिस पर, डेली बेसिस पर। नहीं पिएगा? कुलसुम, कुलसुम, मेरा पेप्सी ला दो तो। कुलसुम अच्छा से पकड़ेगी ना? कैसा लग रहा है?
हम लोग इसको ले सकते हैं, खरीद सकते हैं।
नहीं, मम्मा को बता दे कुलसुम। इधर इधर। नहीं नहीं नहीं, पहले इधर आओ, पहले इधर आओ। अरे अकेले नहीं जाना, इधर आओ ना, उधर भी जाएंगे, पहले इधर आओ, है ना। ऐ आ जाओ, चल आ जाओ, जाना हम देखें। आ जाओ, आ जाओ, इधर देख के, इधर देख के। बनाता है और उसको पकड़ दे उसे।